It starts with a boy watching a video where people are freaking out over some creator who's apparently destroying the whole manly mindset Daxian women have been building for centuries. He just blinks at the screen, confused, wondering where the hell he's ended up. It's been 2 days since he got reborn here, and he still can't wrap his head around this weird, heavy human body and this upside-down world. Back in his original life, he wasn't just anyone. He was the emperor, top of the cultivation world, and now he's stuck in the body of some random high school kid. He tried searching the internet to understand this place better, only to find crazy stories, like men getting harassed, which was almost unheard of in his world. Here, everything's flipped. Women are the dominant ones. They work, get married, have daughters, bring home the money. Men stay home and take care of things. What really frustrates him is the complete lack of spiritual energy. His spirit is damaged, and in a world like this, recovery is next to impossible. From what he remembers, he and the demon Venerable had fought such an intense battle that it shattered the void. Both of them lost their physical forms. He barely survived, and his soul managed to slip through into this world, just in time to enter the body of a dead boy. The body belonged to Lin Mo, a rich kid, average student, nothing special. He had no clue that the demon Venerable might have made it here too. For now, the Emperor has no option but to go along with this identity, keep a low profile, and survive as Lin Mo. Going through Lin Mo's memories, he sees that the kid lost both his parents in a car crash. His grandma, who raised him, now has Alzheimer's and is in the hospital. Left completely alone, Lin Mo's distant aunt stepped in as his guardian. But she and her family didn't come to help. They moved in and took over. They took his house, his stuff, everything. And since Lin Mo was weak, powerless, and had no one, he had no choice but to accept it. Now, the Emperor throws on Lin Mo's school uniform and heads out. At breakfast, the whole leech of a family is sitting there. His aunt casually jokes about his engagement to a girl named Yan Hui, like it's some throwaway adult talk. But when the Emperor digs into Lin Mo's memories, he finds out the engagement was arranged by Lin Mo's grandmother. Yan Hui had rejected him, brutally. She said she wouldn't marry someone that fat. The heartbreak had distracted Lin Mo so badly that he walked into the street and got hit by a truck. That's what killed him, and let the Emperor take over his body. Later, the aunt had canceled the engagement like it was nothing. Sitting at that same breakfast table, the Emperor finally snaps. He tells them flat out not to arrange any marriages. Everyone freezes, confused by the sudden shift in his tone. He ignores them and quietly keeps eating. His new human body still needs food to function. During the meal, his cousin keeps droning on about changing schools, but the Emperor shuts that down too, says he's happy where he is. In truth, he just doesn't want to waste his time arguing with someone this dumb. About an hour later, they all pile into a car and head to school. But right before they get out, his cousin stops him, telling him not to walk in with him, because he's embarrassed to be seen together. Pathetic. When they reach school, the Emperor takes in the architecture and design. He's kind of impressed, but he's also disturbed. Boys are walking around showing their legs, and girls are openly commenting on them. He reminds himself to tune out the noise and stay focused. His main goal is to regain strength before the demon Venerable does. From Lin Mo's memories, he learns he's in class 2 of the senior year. He heads there. The moment he steps in, the teasing starts. Girls call him Yan Hui's boyfriend and ask if he's confessed yet. He doesn't even respond. Internally, he's cringing at how shallow mortals can be. He thinks about rebuilding this body through cultivation. But without spiritual energy or rare ingredients, that's not going to happen anytime soon. Suddenly, his tablemate Yuno cuts in. She tells him that Yan Hui won't like him unless he loses weight, and she can help him with that. The Emperor gives her a look. She clearly wants something. He asks her outright what she wants, throwing her off for a second. Then she admits it. She needs a favor. Turns out, all she wants is someone to play video games with her. If he helps her out, she promises to introduce him to a girl even prettier than Yan Hui. She also says she'll take him to Waju Mountain during summer break to see the stars. She warns that he wouldn't make it up there alone. That's when the Emperor starts paying attention. In his world, tall mountains often gathered spiritual energy. Waju Mountain, also known as 5 Bamboo Mountain, is one of the tallest peaks around. If there's energy in this world at all, that's where it'll be. Seeing this as a chance to possibly cultivate again, he agrees. Yuno's thrilled. She says she already booked the computer lab and got a third-year student to help. The place will be empty after school. Just the 2 of them, gaming. After school, they head to the computer club. Yuno reassures him that no one will interrupt them. She went out of her way to cancel all other activities just for this. They sit at the computers and log in using their IDs. The game they're about to play is a theme-based action RPG. As the game starts, the Emperor quickly realizes something. This game's mechanics are eerily similar to the world of Immortals. The sword techniques, the magic spells, even the way characters can fly. It all mirrors the cultivation methods he knew back in his original world. That realization triggers a thought. Maybe there really are immortals hiding in this world. He decides to stay cautious. Despite being in a new body, all those years of combat training kick in. Even though it's just a game, the Emperor takes it seriously. He refuses to lose, even to a mortal. His sharp skills show in his gameplay as he completely dominates, defeating the top-ranked player. Yuno comes over to congratulate him, but she's shocked to see how much he's sweating. The Emperor is equally stunned. He hadn't expected using spiritual energy, even in such a minor way, to cause his body to physically react like this. It hits him how fragile this human form really is. On the other side of the screen, the girl they just beat, Uding, refuses to accept her loss. She's irritated and demands another match. But the Emperor's character hurls a sword from afar, landing a clean strike on her in-game knee. Her teammate tries to talk her down, saying they've already lost. But Uding isn't having it. She orders her friend to call in backup immediately. Yuno receives a message from them and quickly agrees to meet up. She turns to Lin Mo and praises his skill. He gives her a simple reminder not to forget her promise about Waju Mountain, then leaves without any further small talk. Back home, the Emperor, still in Lin Mo's body, drops into bed. He can't stop thinking about how delicate this body is. The next day, as he steps out of the car at school, his cousin approaches him. Yan Hui, apparently, has asked his cousin to explain to their classmates that the engagement wasn't real. Lin Mo simply walks away, saying there's no need to clarify anything that's already false. His cousin is left fuming. When he gets to class, Yuno is the first to greet him. She tells him that the person they played against in the game was none other than Uding, a student at their school. Yuno says Uding now wants to meet Lin Mo, or rather, his character, Mama Baby, in person. She tries to assure him that Uding wouldn't hurt a guy. He snaps back that he's not some Mama Baby, but before the conversation can continue, Yan Hui barges in, slamming her hand on his desk. She demands they settle things once and for all. She claims he keeps saying their marriage isn't fake. Yuno jumps in, accusing Yan Hui of going too far, but Yan Hui turns the question back on her, asking if she's into Lin Mo. Lin Mo doesn't hold back. He tells Yan Hui that whether their marriage contract is real or not, it doesn't matter. There's no future between them. Yan Hui is visibly shaken by his directness, but tries to save face. She tells him never to mention marrying her again because the idea disgusts her. She even says that every time she came to his house, it wasn't to see him. Lin Mo remains unfazed. His classmates, meanwhile, are low-key impressed by how confidently he's handling the situation. Then, Uding storms into the classroom with her crew, demanding the so-called Mama Baby show himself. Everyone immediately turns toward Lin Mo. He's beyond annoyed. Just because of this body, everyone keeps calling him that ridiculous name. Yuno apologizes to him, saying she really just wanted to play a game, and that he can beat or scold her later if he wants. Just please come with her. Uding is shocked when Lin Mo steps forward. She had assumed the person who played against her was a girl. She asks if he's the one who crossed the line in the game yesterday. After he confirms it, she tells him to meet her after school for a rematch. He bluntly replies that he doesn't play games. He just happened to beat her by luck, and walks away. Uding is left speechless. She turns to her friend and mutters that the fat guy doesn't even know who she is. Her friend points out that Lin Mo just got dumped and has nothing left to lose. That might be why he's not scared of her. Uding, irritated, orders her friend to drag Lin Mo to her at noon. Back in the classroom, everyone is buzzing with curiosity about why Uding wants to talk to Lin Mo. He ignores them and heads to his seat. Yuno leans in, telling him that if he really wants to play games alone, she'll do that with him. She even promises to take him to the mountain and bring along some girls to meet him. He tells her not to bring anyone else. She pauses, then flirts, saying that in skirts, she barely recognizes people anyway. She even jokes that she's worse than Yan Hui. The Emperor is getting more and more annoyed with her nonsense. When class ends, one of Uding's friends comes to take Lin Mo with her, but finds he's already gone. Turns out, he headed to the cafeteria alone and packed his food to eat somewhere quieter. People's stares and comments about his body irritate him. He's still not used to this noisy world full of shallow mortals. Meanwhile, elsewhere in the school, something much darker is happening. Somewhere else on campus, a girl named Xin is having a very different experience. Her body has just been taken over by a powerful demon. Xin, in her weakened state, learns that she's suffering from a fatal illness and is expected to die within a year. The demon offers her a choice: merge their souls and live, or die as scheduled. She promises Xin that if they merge, she'll grant her every wish. Xin agrees, and the fusion begins. The demon claims that from now on, 18 years of Xin's life will now belong to her as well, Even as they merge, the demon reflects bitterly on her past, how she worked for 1,000 years just to kill the emperor. Yet, even in victory, she didn't feel satisfied, only empty. All she has left is the dream of rebuilding the demon realm. But there's one thing she fears, that the emperor may still be alive, and if he is, he definitely won't die easily. She must be cautious. Despite everything, this new world intrigues her. Back in the demon realm, no matter how strong she was, her gender kept her from gaining recognition. The men there never respected her. They only tried to control her. That's why she masked herself with power and fear, destroying those who tried to tame her. Here, though, things are different. In this world, men are considered weak, and the cultivation path is more accessible if only the spiritual energy weren't so low. And on top of that, she's now in a body that naturally draws attention from boys. Her thoughts are cut short when she realizes someone's following her. Turning around, she finds Lin Mo walking behind her. She glares at him and tells him not to follow her. There's no way anything would ever happen between them, but he doesn't even respond. He just walks right past her, leaving her stunned. That shakes her up. She begins to think that regaining her power and leaving this world as soon as possible might be the best move. But somehow, she ends up walking in the same direction as Lin Mo again. Now, he's heading toward the rooftop. She pauses. Ordinary students don't usually go there. What if he's planning to end his life? At first, she brushes the thought aside, but Zin's memories reveal that her friend once committed suicide from that same spot. She asks the real Zin internally if she wants to help the boy. When she senses a yes, she sprints up the stairs. When she gets there, Lin Mo is already standing on the ledge, arms out, facing the wind. She tries to use her powers to pull him back, but then remembers she doesn't have them anymore. So she rushes forward and yanks him down manually. Because of his weight, he crashes onto her, almost breaking her ribs. Angry and confused, he demands to know what she's doing. Zin says she just wanted to ask him what he was planning, and that if he needed a quiet place, he shouldn't cause trouble. The Emperor, still inside Lin Mo, is stunned. She really thought he was going to jump. He chuckles dryly and offers her a hand, telling her she's got quite the imagination. He was just enjoying the cool breeze. Then he adds that he's not interested in her either, which makes her visibly annoyed. She tells him to go away. Back in class, Yuno asks him where he went. Apparently, Yuding and her group had been looking for him and had told him not to leave school. Lin Mo's patience wears thin. He tells Yuno this is her problem, and she needs to solve it herself. She insists on accompanying him to Uding, hoping things won't escalate if she's there too. She explains that Uding didn't get enough fun during the last match and just wants a rematch. If he lets her win, she'll leave him alone. Lin Mo refuses. Yuno begs, reminding him that Uding is the eldest daughter of the influential Yu family. Messing with her could bring serious consequences. He's unmoved. She pleads, saying she'll owe him anything he wants, even offering to take him for barbecue again. That gets his attention. He finally agrees, but reminds her not to forget the Waju mountain trip. After class, Lin Mo remembers how his weight might have actually cracked Zin's ribs. He's a little concerned, but shrugs it off. After all, there were no ambulances. She probably just fainted or left. Still, he figures he should check. Back on the rooftop, Zin is in pain. She hadn't been able to move since Lin Mo's body landed on her. With no phone signal, cold wind all around, and no powers to help herself, she lies there shivering, angry that she, a once powerful demon, is now crying out for help. She reflects bitterly. The Emperor may be the only one who could truly defeat her, and yet she's the one defeated by a fat mortal. Just then, Lin Mo returns. She's shocked and asks why he came back. He doesn't answer. He just sits beside her and checks her condition. Her ribs are definitely broken. He tells her she's too fragile and should do some exercise, which completely offends her. She snaps at him, saying she works out way more than someone who's so heavy that he literally broke her bones. He ignores the jab, takes off his jacket, and gently places it over her shoulders. He says it's windy up here and reminds her to be careful. After all, she's still a woman. He tells her that this whole situation started because of a misunderstanding, and now that it's cleared up, he'll call an ambulance. Then, they'll be even. Zin tells him to take his jacket back, but he says he knows she probably hates his clothes just because he's fat, but her body is too weak to argue. She can throw it away after the ambulance arrives. Internally, the demon reflects that she, a deity, should never look down on a mortal body again. This fat boy, at least, seems decent. Soon, the ambulance arrives and takes her away. Lin Mo returns home. As soon as Lin Mo walks in through the front door, his cousin stops him with an annoyed expression, demanding to know why Uding was looking for him at school. Lin Mo doesn't even react. The cousin continues, criticizing him, saying that people like Uding wouldn't want anything to do with someone like him, and that he shouldn't cause trouble for the family. Lin Mo stays silent and walks past him. That only makes his cousin angrier. He threatens to tell his mom to kick Lin Mo out of the house. That's when Lin Mo stops, turns around, and says firmly, "This is my home too." His cousin is furious. He raises his hand to slap him, but Lin Mo grabs it mid-air, effortlessly stopping him. The emperor inside is amused that such weak mortals would even dare lift a hand against him. Lin Mo pushes the cousin aside, who falls down dramatically, crying and calling out to his dad for help, claiming Lin Mo bullied him. The father comes charging in and tries to slap Lin Mo as well. But just like before, Lin Mo grabs his hand and calmly warns both of them not to mess with him again. Shocked, the cousin and uncle quickly call for Lin Mo's aunt, saying he's gone wild. When she arrives, she scolds Lin Mo, telling him that no matter what happened, he should still apologize to his elders. The emperor finds it laughable that she's the first person to ever ask an emperor to apologize. He refuses. She threatens to cut off his allowance if he doesn't say sorry. He brushes it off and simply heads back to his room. Back in his room, the emperor realizes he'll need money soon. He can't keep depending on this family. He decides to sell some of Lin Mo's clothes online, but the online buyers are so annoying that it irritates him more than it helps. Frustrated, he mutters about how humiliating it is for someone like him, a once great emperor, to be worried about basic things like money. He thinks about regaining spiritual energy and decides to work out a little, just like in his past training. But this human body gives out after just 3 minutes. He's exhausted. Then he gets a call from Yuno. She tells him that his cousins Zixuan and Yanhui will be joining them on the Waju mountain hiking trip. If he wants, they could go alone some other day instead. But Lin Mo says it's fine. He'll still join the group tomorrow. He doesn't want mortal drama to shake his resolve. The next morning, as he steps out for breakfast, Zixuan starts mocking him again, asking why he's up so early and whether Yanhui invited him. Lin Mo ignores him. Soon, the bus arrives to take them all hiking. Zixuan rushes out and greets Yanhui near the bus. When they're seated together, Zixuan nervously tells Yanhui about how Lin Mo beat him up the night before and even fought his dad. Yanhui, surprised by Lin Mo's boldness, suggests maybe they shouldn't bring him along to the mountain. But Yuno reminds them that she already invited him, so he's coming no matter what. Zixuan and Yanhui start mocking Lin Mo again, laughing about whether he'll even be able to climb the mountain. But Yuno puts a stop to it. Because she organized the whole trip, they can't argue with her. When Lin Mo finally gets on the bus, Yanhui immediately confronts him, asking why he bullied Zixuan. Yuno steps in, claiming it must have been a misunderstanding, and suggests Lin Mo sit in the front. Lin Mo silently takes the seat, his thoughts focused on what the mountain might offer spiritually. As the bus rolls forward, the emperor catches sight of a motorcycle speeding up next to them. It screeches to a halt right in front of the bus, startling everyone. It's Uding. She's tracked them down. Yuno is visibly annoyed. She mutters that Uding is only chasing after Lin Mo because she lost a game. She storms over to ask Uding what she's doing here. Uding immediately spots Lin Mo and starts teasing him in front of everyone, calling him fat and joking loudly. She tells Lin Mo to ditch the mountain trip and come with her to an internet cafe. She even offers to help him get back together with Yanhui. Lin Mo responds coldly, telling her to stop bothering him. Uding crouches down beside his seat and asks playfully if he'll ever accept a challenge from her again. The emperor suddenly notices something strange about the amulet she's wearing. It has traces of spiritual energy, weak, but definitely refined. And although the energy is real, it's been crudely handled, something a cultivator would never do. It can't be the demon venerable's work. Uding presses again, asking if he'll play with her. Lin Mo says he'll play after the mountain trip, thinking it might help him find other cultivators or clues. Yuno invites Uding to join them on the hike, and she agrees. Taking a seat right next to Lin Mo, she pulls out her phone and asks if he has one too, challenging him to another game. He agrees, but on one condition: if he wins, she owes him something. The game begins. They set their terms, and within minutes, Lin Mo easily defeats her again. He asks her to transfer him $10,000. Uding shrugs. It's nothing to her, and even offers more if he'll be her regular sparring partner. He refuses, saying he just wants the agreed amount. She transfers the money and warns him not to answer her calls in the future, or give her number to anyone else. He finds her attitude absurd. Even as an emperor, he wasn't this arrogant. After that, Uding leaves her seat and tells Yanhui to go sit next to Lin Mo instead. Yanhui looks like she wants to argue, but she's too intimidated. Zixuan steps in and offers to sit with Uding instead, giving Yanhui the excuse she needs to move. Zixuan tries to strike up a conversation with Uding, talking about games, but she instantly shuts him down, telling him to be quiet. The bus eventually arrives at the foot of the mountain. The students all stare in awe. It's much higher than they expected. The boys, realizing how tough the climb will be, ask the girls for help. Some girls even joke that they'll carry the boys on their backs if they get too tired. Yuno, full of energy, encourages everyone to follow her lead so they don't fall behind. They start climbing. About 30 minutes into the climb, some of the boys already start complaining. They're winded and struggling to keep up. Lin Mo watches this unfold and is honestly surprised. They're even less fit than he is. Despite the heat and the uphill path, he keeps going. As he walks, he thinks to himself that once he regains his former strength, he'll surpass everyone around him. For now, though, the body he's in can only do so much. Still, he keeps pushing. Yuno notices he's climbing alone and feels a little guilty. After all, she was the one who brought him on this trip. She wants to help, but also hesitates. She's known as the center of attention, and being seen helping him might tarnish her image. But eventually, her concern wins out. She approaches him and offers support. Lin Mo refuses. He says she should go on ahead. He'll be fine. He doesn't want her pity. He tells her directly that he can handle it, even if he's slower. She walks away, and he keeps moving, telling himself that this kind of exhaustion is nothing. Back in his own world, he endured training and trials far worse than this. The things he had to face to become emperor, these mortals wouldn't last a day. Eventually, Yuno catches up with the others and tells Lin Mo that if he can't keep up, he should wait for her. He keeps going alone. Surprisingly, he manages to climb more than 2/3 of the way up on his own. Eventually, he runs into Yuno and a group of girls again. They suggest stopping and heading back to eat at a restaurant instead, but Lin Mo refuses. He wants to reach the top. He wants to see the view. Yuno tries to convince him to stop, worried he might hurt himself, but the other girls pull her away, telling her to just let him go. If he wants to push himself, that's his decision. Lin Mo continues the climb solo. After another 20 minutes of grueling hiking, he finally reaches the top. To his surprise, Uding is already there, sipping a drink. She glances at him and raises an eyebrow. He doesn't say anything and just stands there, taking in the view, the high elevation, the air. There's spiritual energy here. Not a lot, but more than anywhere else he's found so far. He pulls out a blue stone and holds it in his hand, absorbing what energy he can. For the first time since arriving in this world, he feels a faint spark of power. He thinks to himself, he may have lost everything, but now that training is possible, he can start over. It doesn't matter how long it takes, he will return to the top. Uding walks over and interrupts his thoughts. She asks what he's doing. He simply replies, looking at the view. She chuckles and tells him she'll let him off for today, but starting tomorrow, he's her official training partner. Then she casually leaves, tossing him a leftover sandwich before heading down the mountain. Lin Mo doesn't even hesitate. He unwraps the sandwich and eats it. He's eaten far worse during his training in his past life. Then he begins cleaning his marrow and regulating his breathing, slowly recovering spiritual energy. After some time, he takes out his phone and calls Yuno. He tells her that the place is pretty nice and he's thinking of staying there for a while during the holidays. Then, he calls his aunt to inform her of the same and books a hotel room for the next 2 months near the mountain. During those 2 months, Lin Mo completely isolates himself. Every day, he climbs the mountain, trains, and slowly rebuilds his strength. When the break ends, he calls Yuno again, asking her to come pick him up. Yuno is relieved to hear from him. She's been bombarded with questions about where he went, especially from Uding. She heads to the hotel, but when the door opens, she freezes. Standing there is a tall, lean, incredibly handsome guy. She panics, thinking she knocked on the wrong room. She apologizes immediately, but then the guy calls her by name, Yuno. She stops in her tracks. He tells her that it's him. He's Lin Mo. She's in total disbelief. She asks if he's a friend of Lin Mo or maybe playing a prank. He confirms again. He is Lin Mo. He just lost weight. That's it. Still stunned, Yuno watches him walk out of the room with zero emotion, giving her time to mentally catch up. Finally, it sinks in. It really is him. And suddenly, she's incredibly glad that she was never cruel to him when he was overweight. She quickly offers to carry his bag and rushes to open the car door for him like a personal assistant. In the car, she tries to make small talk, complimenting him, saying he looks so handsome now. She even warns him not to fall for girls like MANHUA who are only interested in appearances. Lin Mo just tells her to be quiet. Yuno immediately regrets not climbing the mountain with him back then. She silently prays that she's still high on his list of favorites. She even offers to take him out for a meal, but Lin Mo declines. He says he just wants to go home. Back at the house, Lin Mo walks in, and his family doesn't even recognize him. They think he's a stranger who wandered in. He tells them it's him, Lin Mo. They accuse him of having plastic surgery. He replies that he couldn't have done that because they have all the money. Then, with a slight smirk, he asks if they'll still be paying for his semester fees. His aunt says she will, but warns that if he ever disrespects her or his uncle again, she'll stop paying. The next day at school, Lin Mo walks into the classroom and no one recognizes him. Everyone assumes he's a new transfer student. The girls are stunned by his looks and can't stop whispering about how handsome he is. Lin Mo, however, is uncomfortable with the attention. He suspects it might be because of a lingering aura from spiritual energy. Just as he's trying to shake the thought, Uding bursts into the room, dragging Yuno by the collar. She storms in, demanding to know where Lin Mo is. Yuno, still recovering from the shock, finally points at him and says, "That's Lin Mo. He lost weight." Uding doesn't believe it. She narrows her eyes and accuses them of lying. Lin Mo interrupts, confirming it's him. He says if she wants to train, they can meet after class. Uding still looks skeptical, even after Yuno explains that Lin Mo trained by climbing the mountain every day. Uding leans in again and asks, just to be sure, "You're that fat guy?" Lin Mo glares and tells her not to call him fat again. That finally convinces her. She shrugs and says she doesn't care if he's fat or thin. He still has to stay after class today. Before she walks off, Yuno quickly admits that the guy she had pretended to be Lin Mo before was just a random stranger. Uding is impressed by her guts and calls her the most daring girl she's ever met. After Uding leaves, all the girls surround Yuno, firing off questions about Lin Mo. How did he lose weight? When did he change? And is he single now? The teacher walks in, scolds the class, and sends everyone back to their seats. She pauses when she sees Lin Mo, surprised at first, but doesn't make a fuss. She announces that the seating chart is being changed. A wave of hands shoots up, all the girls volunteering to sit next to Lin Mo. Yuno tries to stake her claim, but the teacher silences the chatter and assigns a quiet, chubby boy to sit next to Lin Mo instead. Lin Mo is honestly relieved. When class ends, the girls crowd around him again, bombarding him with invitations. "Come eat with us. Let's hang out. We've got snacks." Lin Mo coldly tells them to get out of his way and walks off, leaving them fangirling in his wake. His cousin, watching all this, is seething with jealousy. Even during lunch, Lin Mo is the center of attention. Yuno is visibly trying to impress him, desperate to win his favor. Later, Yan Hui approaches Lin Mo, trying to apologize for her past behavior. She explains that she was just shocked by the engagement announcement. Lin Mo doesn't respond. He just walks away. On his way to the rooftop for some peace and quiet, he sees Xin heading there too. Not wanting to lose his favorite spot, he speeds up. She notices him following and thinks he might be after her. But when he walks past her and goes straight to the rooftop, she realizes he just wants the same thing she does. She speeds up too. So does he. What starts as a silent race quickly becomes a full-on sprint up the stairs. Neither of them wants to lose. They keep passing each other, both too proud to back down. Finally, they reach the rooftop at the same time, crashing into the doorway together. After a short struggle, Lin Mo squeezes through first and claims the spot. Xin accuses him of touching her chest. He snaps back that she was the one pushing him with her chest and slaps her forehead in irritation. He knows in this world, men are seen as the weaker gender, but he doesn't care. He's not playing by their rules. Xin doesn't leave. She continues glaring at him, muttering about how she'll win next time. He threatens to call the police if she keeps bothering him. She thinks about retaliating, but then remembers how things work in this world. No one would believe her over a man. She concedes for now, saying she'll win next time, and walks away. Lin Mo is glad to finally have the rooftop to himself again. He pulls out his phone and checks the news. What he sees sends chills down his spine. A chicken farm reports that thousands of chickens were mysteriously drained of life overnight. Their bodies are dried up, turned into husks. He instantly recognizes this. This has to be the work of a demonic sword. In their final battle, the demon Venerable had detonated her sword to shatter the void. He'd assumed the weapon was destroyed. But this suggests she might still be alive, and still hunting for power. He remembers how she once killed him to prove her strength, but he had managed to touch the laws of immortality. He had become something greater. She hadn't. All she could do was kill. And now she's trying to recover. He vows not to sit back and wait. He has to investigate this. After school, Yuno offers to go with him to meet Uding. Lin Mo declines. She says she'll cover for him anyway and hopes to gain his gratitude. Meanwhile, Lin Mo gets into a cab, headed toward the chicken farm. It's far from the city, desolate, eerie. He's determined to find out whether the demon is still alive. He's even willing to damage his soul if that's what it takes to defeat her again. As he exits the cab, the area is unusually quiet. His spiritual senses are dull, but he still picks up the faint trace of demonic energy coming from a nearby house. He suspects the demon Venerable's presence, but just as he's about to approach it, Uding appears on her motorcycle, catching him off guard. She casually asks what he's doing in a place like this. Lin Mo makes up a quick story, saying he was in a taxi when the driver took a weird route, so he got out here. Uding tells him to be careful now that he's handsome. People get kidnapped in rural areas all the time. She hands him her helmet, tells him to stay put, and walks off, saying she's just here to drop off an order. Lin Mo watches her leave, but something about her direction seems suspicious. She's heading straight toward the demonic energy. She might be tracking it too. Curious, he decides to follow her, quietly, from a distance. Yuding reaches the farm, and an old woman steps out to greet her, asking who she's looking for. Without hesitation, Yuding draws a gun and points it at the woman, warning her not to pretend. The woman panics, telling her it's illegal to carry firearms. Yuding doesn't flinch. She coldly replies that laws don't apply to cultivators. The woman insists she's just a farmer, but Yuding catches her subtle movement. She's reaching for a hidden knife strapped under her sleeve. In one swift move, Yuding fires at her hand, forcing her to drop the weapon. Then she draws her sword and demands answers. Still pretending, the woman says she's not evil. She just used a special method on her chickens because there's no spiritual energy in this world. Yuding isn't buying it. She accuses her of refining chickens today, but possibly people tomorrow. She warns that even with limited cultivation time, she's talented enough to match a 10-year monk in power. That's when the woman drops the act. Her body mutates into a grotesque monster as she admits Yuding is right. She claims she only wanted to go further in her cultivation and needed the chickens for that. She says it's a shame. She had hoped to get stronger before being caught. Without fear, Yuding charges at the monster. Lin Mo, who's been watching the whole time from a hidden spot, recognizes the aura. This isn't just any monster. That energy definitely comes from a demonic sword. If that's true, Yuding is in serious danger. Yuding quickly realizes the same thing. She thinks she can't afford to take a hit from this creature. So she uses a spirit sword talisman. It fails. The monster slams her into the ground. Just before it can strike again, Lin Mo leaps into action, stepping between her and the beast. Yuding is stunned. She screams for him to run, but he tells her to turn away. He'll handle it. He taps into his spiritual power. It's faint, but enough. With a flash of energy, his form changes. He briefly reveals his true identity as the Emperor. Back in the city, at Guan Temple, a bell rings, startling the monks. One of the disciples asks why the bell would activate now. Their master kneels in reverence and whispers, "The father of Tianshui Mountain has returned." Back at the farm, the monster weakens. The Emperor questions it, demanding to know where the demon Venerable is. But the creature is nearly spiritless, just a remnant of what it once was. It doesn't answer. The Emperor decides to take no chances. He extracts and purifies its soul, removing the demonic influence. Even if it was a trap by the demon Venerable, the purified soul is a valuable cultivation tool. Turning to Yuding, who lies injured and dazed, he performs a spell to wipe her memory of the incident. Her eyes lose focus and she forgets everything she saw. Then he re-enters Lin Mo's body and checks her cultivation. He's surprised. Yuding has an extremely rare and pure spiritual root. Even in the immortal world, she'd be considered a genius. She's in the late stage of Kai refinement, which is unusually high for this low-energy world. This means she must have a special place to train. No way she could have gotten this far otherwise. As he gets ready to leave, he feels his heart slowing down. Overusing his residual soul power might have injured his organs. He grits his teeth, hoping the damage isn't too serious. Just as he steps outside, two women suddenly block his path and start harassing him. Before he can do anything, Yuding appears again, fully recovered, and beats them up. She scolds him, saying he should learn to protect himself when people like that approach. Then she offers to give him a ride home. On the bike, she casually asks if he was scared when those women harassed him. He shrugs and tells her not to call him fat again. That's when she remembers. He stood her up. She confronts him about it. Lin Mo flips the blame, saying his family didn't want him to go alone and that he actually waited for her. She backs down, saying she had an emergency. Then, while walking away, she calls someone and reports that the mission was completed. But this target was unusually strong. After she leaves, Lin Mo heads toward his room, only to be stopped by Zixuan and Yan Hui. Zixuan tries to mock him again, hinting that Yuding is a womanizer and implying Lin Mo shouldn't hang around her. Yan Hui tries to cover it up, but Lin Mo ignores both of them and walks into his room. There, the Emperor reflects on his situation. He realizes he can't keep using his soul energy recklessly, or it will cause irreversible harm. But thankfully, he now has the demonic soul fragment from earlier. It'll help him cultivate again, as long as he removes the dark energy from it. His thoughts are interrupted by a knock on the door. When he opens it, Yan Hui is standing there. She says she came for him, that she's been thinking and realized she actually has feelings for him. She admits she was mean before, but that was just her being defensive. When she's with him, she says, she feels comfortable. She apologizes, and then asks him out. Without a word, Lin Mo slams the door in her face. Inside, He tries to calm his thoughts. Even though he once believed he had transcended all desires and weaknesses, reaching the pinnacle of spiritual formation, he's now realizing something troubling. A few kind or cruel words still have an effect on him. He decides it's time to train his mind again, to increase mental clarity and block emotional interference. The next day at school, things are just as chaotic. Lin Mo walks in and is instantly swarmed by girls offering him food, asking to eat with him, trying to flirt. Yan Hui, too, is trying to get his attention. She even dumps Zixuan, hoping it'll impress him. But Lin Mo doesn't even look her way. While heading to the rooftop for lunch, he notices Xin heading there again. Not wanting her to take his spot, he picks up the pace. Xin sees him too, and speeds up, determined to get there first. It turns into another unspoken race. They reach the rooftop nearly at the same time. Xin claims the space, saying she got there first. Lin Mo pushes back, arguing that it's his spot because he won the last time. Neither of them wants to back down, so Xin proposes they settle it with a game of Go. They sit down and start playing. The hours tick by. Even after school ends, they're still locked in an intense match. Neither side is willing to concede. They're too evenly matched. Eventually, Lin Mo suggests they call it a draw. Xin refuses. She wants to keep going, but when she stands up, her legs are numb from sitting too long. She stumbles and falls right onto him. Lin Mo flicks her forehead and scolds her for touching him again. Then he walks off, saying if it happens again, he'll sue her. As he exits the school, his phone rings. It's Uding, already yelling the moment he picks up. She demands to know where he is. He says he's at the school gate and asks if she's here to pick him up. Internally, Lin Mo is still trying to figure her out. How is someone who plays around all day still so advanced in cultivation? He decides to use this opportunity to observe her and maybe uncover her secret. Uding arrives and immediately questions why he's still at school. He lies and says he fell asleep. She doesn't buy it, but doesn't press the issue. Instead, she says she wants to settle accounts with him. She hands him her helmet and takes him to her place. The Emperor scans her house carefully. To his disappointment, it looks like a typical room. Mostly computers, no cultivation gear in sight. She teases him, asking if he feels safe here. Instead of answering, he punches her in the stomach. Caught off guard, she doubles over. Then she recovers, a little impressed, and asks if he wants to play again. Determined to beat him, they sit down for a rematch. They end up playing 47 games. Lin Mo wins every single one. When he gets up to leave, she begs for one more round, but he declines, saying they can play again another time. As he leaves, he discreetly places a talisman paper doll in her house, a surveillance charm that can move on its own and send back visual feedback. Meanwhile, someone takes a photo of Uding bringing Lin Mo to her place. The image spreads across their class group. When Yan Hui sees it, she's furious. She mutters under her breath, wishing something bad would happen to Uding. Suddenly, a voice speaks to her, seemingly from nowhere. It asks if she wants revenge. Alarmed, she demands to know who's speaking. The voice replies that it's not important. All she needs to know is that it can grant her what she wants. The voice claims to be the #1 divine sword from the Jiao immortal realm, shattered in the battle with the Emperor. If Yan Hui helps it recover, it will give her immortality and power beyond belief. Yan Hui immediately agrees. The sword sends a flash of blue light into her body and begins fusing with her. Yan Hui asks when the power will kick in, but the sword explains that it depends on her. What does she want? Yan Hui says she wants to learn hypnosis. The sword agrees, saying she has the right mental affinity. It gives her a technique called Dream of the Soul. Back at Uding's place, the surveillance paper doll is feeding everything back to Lin Mo. She's still just playing games. He watches as she finishes up and heads to her room to change. The doll silently latches onto her clothes, staying hidden. In her room, Uding pulls out spiritual tools and talismans. They're not the highest grade, but in a world this lacking in energy, they're rare. She gets on her bike and rides to a wedding venue. A couple is just finishing their ceremony. She waits for the right moment, then approaches the groom. Chen Zhu, she says coldly, your wish has been granted. It's time. The groom's body shifts. His true form is revealed. He's a fox demon who drains women's life force. Uding strikes him down immediately. With his dying breath, he thanks her and apologizes to his bride, saying she should trust Uding. She'll protect her. The bride breaks down, sobbing. Uding gently tells her that the man was never human. He seduced women, drained them of their energy, and left them to die. She casts a memory-erasing talisman on the bride and walks away. Back at Lin Mo's house, the paper doll detaches and attaches itself to the dead fox demon. Lin Mo begins a soul transfer spell, bringing the demon's spirit into the paper doll. 20 minutes later, the doll returns to him. The soul of Chen Zhu wakes up in this new form, shocked. He thought he had died for good. The Emperor asks him, do you want to die or live again? Chen Zhu answers immediately. He still has things he wants to do. He wants to live. The emperor agrees, but in exchange, Chen Zhu must serve him for 10 years. After that, he'll be granted a new life. Chen Zhu accepts the deal and bows in gratitude. Lin Mo then orders him to explain everything he knows about this world's cultivation system. Chen Zhu starts talking. Cultivation resources here are limited. So many practitioners enter secret realms to train, but those realms are controlled by powerful clans. Without connections, ordinary cultivators are treated like fuel, used up and discarded. Lin Mo interrupts. Is that why you became an evil cultivator? Chen Zhu nods. He explains that many cultivators are forced down that path because they have no other option. The cultivation world always targets and destroys so-called evil cultivators. Lin Mo asks about Yuding, whether she's one of them. Chen Zhu shakes his head. Yuding isn't just any cultivator. She's part of the Phoenix Group, and also a member of the Shao family, one of the top 3 cultivation clans. Lin Mo presses again. Does immortality exist? Chen Zhu says he's never heard of anyone reaching it. Then Chen Zhu asks for permission to visit his loved ones. Lin Mo agrees. He can visit them during free time, but must never reveal Lin Mo's identity. The next day, Lin Mo heads to school with Chen Zhu, now in the form of a small paper doll, tucked inside his pocket. Chen Zhu is shocked when he realizes that his powerful new master is actually a high school student. Even more surprising, the moment they arrive, Lin Mo is immediately surrounded by girls fawning over him. When Lin Mo sits down at his desk, he notices something strange, a pile of snacks stacked neatly there. At first, he assumes Yuno might have left them, but he soon discovers it was Yan Hui. She shows up not long after, trying to flirt again. Zixuan, who's been watching from the sidelines, can't stay silent. He asks Yan Hui why she's acting like this, and she replies boldly that she has every right to. After all, Lin Mo is her fiancé. The class stirs with whispers. Zixuan and Yan Hui start bickering, and Lin Mo quietly takes his seat, ignoring them. Yan Hui turns back to him and tries to play the caring card, telling him to call her if anyone ever bullies him. Meanwhile, a new rumor is circulating among the students. The boys are saying that Yan Hui is just trying to steal Uding's man. When Uding hears about this during lunch, she brushes it off, until Yan Hui walks past her and smirks. That tiny gesture lights a fire in Uding. The tension between the two girls rises. Elsewhere, Lin Mo has already escaped the chaos and gone to the rooftop, where Xin is waiting. She set up the go board again. As he eats lunch, she casually tells him to slow down or he'll get fat again. She suddenly remembers the old Lin Mo, the overweight boy she met here before, and asks if he knows that guy. Lin Mo simply says he doesn't know who she's talking about. Xin gets suspicious. She shows him an old photo of him and asks again. Lin Mo still denies knowing the person. Frustrated, she backs off, thinking maybe he doesn't like talking about his past. She assures him she's not judging. She just wants to beat him at Go. Before leaving, she gives him back his old jacket, saying it probably doesn't fit anymore, and suggests they call today's game a draw since they're equally skilled. Lin Mo silently agrees. After she leaves, Chen Zhu pops out of Lin Mo's pocket and jokes about how strong his master must be. Every girl is into him. Lin Mo ignores the comment and changes the subject. He asks where Chen Zhu used to get the resources for his evil cultivation. Chen Zhu explains that most of it came from the Dark Door Web, a secret online black market. In this world, powerful families control all resources. But wherever there's greed, corruption follows. The Dark Door has been around for years, serving both rogue cultivators and greedy clan members alike. Lin Mo asks how to earn money there. Chen Zhu says they could take assassination jobs, but honestly, the fastest way would be to date a rich woman. Lin Mo immediately rejects the idea and shoves Chen Zhu back into his pocket. Now, back on Earth, the Emperor is thinking about checking out the materials available through the Dark Door. As he leaves the school, Yuding is waiting outside. Again. She drags him onto her bike before he can protest. Yan Hui watches, seething with jealousy. Yuding speeds off with Lin Mo, teasing him like always. But when he accuses her of liking him, she slams the brakes and lets him off, saying she only talks to him because of their gaming matches. He walks off, telling her not to catch feelings, and discreetly attaches another surveillance talisman to her clothes. Back home, Lin Mo tells Chen Zhu to browse the Dark Door and look for anything useful. What they find stuns them. Even the weakest spiritual tools from the immortal realm are selling for cheap. But what Lin Mo really wants are spirit stones, especially the rare 100-year-old Jinang stones. Unfortunately, they cost over 1,000,000 yuan. He asks Chen Zhu for a loan. Chen Zhu hands him 30,000 yen, and with that, Lin Mo buys a batch of spiritual ink and paper, just enough to make a couple of talismans. The materials arrive the next morning. Chen Zhu watches nervously, thinking Lin Mo might fail to create one without proper training, but to his surprise, Lin Mo completes one perfectly on his first try. Still, Lin Mo is frustrated. His spiritual energy is so limited that he can only create 2 talismans before running dry. He lists them on the dark door for auction, and they get instant attention. People are bidding fast. The price rises rapidly. Even Uding from her room sees the listing while browsing the site. She offers a high price immediately, 1 full spirit stone. Lin Mo is surprised. If she's bidding on talismans like these, maybe she's trying to track down their creator. He wonders if this could be a trap. After all, she's with the Phoenix Group. Still, he decides to keep selling. The talismans are too profitable to ignore. The very next day, as Lin Mo plays another round of Go with Xin on the rooftop, he finds himself distracted. Xin notices and suggests they continue another time. She doesn't want to win when he's not focused. As he leans against the rooftop wall, enjoying the breeze, she jokingly tells him not to fall off. Eventually, he climbs down and heads off, but not before he's intercepted by Yan Hui. She tries once again to push herself into his life, but before things can escalate, Xin steps in, standing between them. Yan Hui warns her to stay away from her man. Xin doesn't even blink. She tells her to move. Lin Mo watches it all in silence, thinking, since when did I become anyone's man? Back at home, Yan Hui is plotting. She talks to herself, saying she's given Lin Mo plenty of chances. Now she's ready to hypnotize him directly. That night, as Lin Mo sleeps, he feels it, a subtle attack on his mind, a remote hypnosis technique. He's furious. Someone actually dared to try to control the emperor. The next day at school, Yan Hui approaches him, smugly telling him to meet her at her house that evening. She thinks she's successfully hypnotized him. What she doesn't know is that Lin Mo already knows it was her. He quietly attaches a surveillance doll to her, hoping to find proof, but it's destroyed almost immediately. That's a problem. Only 2 people could have sensed it and destroyed it that fast, the Demon Venerable or the Demon Sword. The threat level just escalated. School ends, and Lin Mo is deep in thought. The paper doll being destroyed so quickly means one thing. Whoever is behind Yan Hui isn't just strong, they're dangerous enough to sense spiritual surveillance. He suspects that either the Demon Venerable or the broken divine sword from the immortal realm has returned, and one of them is hiding inside her. But with no solid proof, he can't make a move yet. His best option now is to involve the Phoenix Group. They're powerful, and if Uding is really investigating this realm's demonic threats, she could become a valuable ally. As he walks down the street, lost in thought, he doesn't notice the motorcycle speeding toward him. Uding, riding her bike, brakes hard to avoid hitting him and ends up bumping into him slightly. She jumps off immediately, concerned, but Lin Mo sees the perfect chance to act. He pretends to be hypnotized and starts walking away in a daze, mumbling that he has to go to Yan Hui's house. Uding chases after him, calling his name. When he doesn't respond, she panics. She casts a quick spiritual spell to break any illusion or mental control. Lin Mo blinks and acts confused, pretending he just woke up. Uding asks if he's seen Yan Hui recently, and he deflects, saying she shouldn't worry about whether he meets his fiancée or not. She gets more frustrated and tells him she's taking him to the hospital. Lin Mo refuses. He says he doesn't trust her, so she pulls out a check and hands it to him, saying she doesn't want him suing her later for the accident. She walks off, leaving him holding the check. When he looks down, he's stunned. It's not a small sum. He just got a large amount of money for pretending to be injured. He immediately starts planning how to use it. Spirit stones, cultivation materials. Everything he needs is now within reach. Meanwhile, Uding isn't done. She rides over to Yui's house to investigate. What she finds is disturbing. Inside, there are dozens of pictures of Lin Mo plastered across the walls. Journals, diagrams, manuals. Every inch of the room screams obsession. As she scans through the documents, her phone rings. She answers, and her face hardens. Yan Hui has gone missing. Yan Hui had vanished without a trace. Wu Tong alerted the team, informing them that she had tracked Yan Hui to Yan Hui's residence and was monitoring her actions. Based on what she observed, Wu Tong believed Yan Hui was heavily involved in the missing teenager's case. She instructed the team to issue a nationwide wanted alert immediately and locate Yan Hui at all costs. The team confirmed the order and ended the call. Wu Tong suspected that if Yan Hui fled, she had already anticipated that her identity would be exposed. It was becoming clear that Yan Hui wasn't just sly, she was calculating. Meanwhile, Lin Mo reflected on the paper doll's discovery. It seemed reasonable to assume Yan Hui had some link to the venerable demon. But the truth was, Jai wasn't the only place where youth had suddenly gone missing. A loud knock echoed at Lin Mo's door. Zixuan had arrived and, clearly agitated, asked if Lin Mo had seen the news. When Lin Mo let him in, Zixuan questioned him, demanding to know why Yan Hui was now a wanted criminal. Lin Mo calmly responded that he didn't know much about her and shut the door in frustration. Afterwards, Lin Mo sat down and opened the news on his computer. The headline revealed that Yan Hui from the Fangang Institute was now the main suspect in the abuse and murder case of a young man from years ago. Her current whereabouts were unknown, but her wanted status had spread nationwide. Despite an efficient search operation, no progress had been made. Zhu, also watching the news, scoffed. He couldn't believe a cold woman like her had dared to mess with their master. But Lin Mo had a different line of thought. If the demon had planned to absorb the boy's yang energy, he would have chosen a location that overflowed with yin energy. That was because yin and yang, opposites in power, had to be kept in balance. With this in mind, Lin Mo suddenly sprang into action. He opened his desk drawer and rummaged through his stationery box. Zhu asked what he was looking for. Wooden boards, Lin Mo replied. Then he began crafting something. Using talismans, he chanted spells and infused the board with magical energy. Once complete, Zhu looked at it in awe. That's a Sinon, a prototype of a directional compass, Zhu realized. Lin Mo nodded. The Phoenix Group had resources, but even they wouldn't be able to find Yan Hui on their own. That's why he built a magical Sinon, one that could pinpoint Yan Hui's exact location using spiritual stones as a core component. The magic would act as a lure, locking onto the strongest concentration of yin energy in the area. After activating it, the Sinon glowed and immediately directed itself toward a specific path. Zhu was impressed, even calling Lin Mo amazing. My master really did that instantly, he said proudly. Lin Mo handed the Sinon to Zhu for safekeeping. Zhu, surprised, asked what it was for exactly. Lin Mo explained that the device could detect where yin energy was most concentrated in the city. With a signal from Lin Mo's eyes, Zhu leaped into his pocket to hide the Sinon. Just then, Lin Mo turned around and was shocked to find Wutong outside his window. He immediately reached for his phone to call emergency services, but Wutong stopped him and requested to come in. Once inside, she sat down and apologized for entering so uninvited. Lin Mo asked what brought her here, and Wutong said she wanted to check on his injuries. Lin Mo, suspicious that she doubted he was even hurt, lifted his sleeve with a smirk. See? Still scarred, he said, showing his wounded arm and leg. Wutong examined the injuries. Then, gently and silently, she started cleaning the wounds with cotton. As she dabbed at his leg, she thought to herself how unexpectedly nice his legs were. Meanwhile, Zhu fumed with jealousy. She's grabbing your leg now, master. She's taking advantage of you, he muttered angrily. Lin Mo, aware of Zhu's inner thoughts, casually remarked that he was feeling better now. Then he asked if Wutong only came to treat his injuries. But Wutong mentioned she assumed he had seen the news about Yan Hui. She asked if he remembered anything about what she did to him. Lin Mo shook his head. Not really. Everything after seeing her is a blur. Hearing this, Wutong stood up and said it was pointless for her to stay any longer. As she made her way to exit through the window again, Lin Mo grabbed her shoulder gently and offered his help. If she needed someone to act as bait to draw Yan Hui out, he could be that person. Wutong looked at him. His firm grip, confident tone, and exposed physique, and suddenly lost her balance, tumbling out the window with a flustered, "Okay." The next morning, Lin Mo strolled into class with a confident, almost arrogant demeanor. A group of students immediately gathered around him. One of them asked if he was doing all right. They remarked that it was a good thing Yan Hui had been declared wanted, otherwise no one would have known how far she might have gone with him. Another classmate chimed in, saying they always knew something was off about her. Lin Mo, clearly uninterested, told them to leave him alone. Just then, a student standing near the doorway called out that a new transfer student had joined their class, supposedly a very good-looking guy. The two girls immediately lost interest in Lin Mo and rushed over to meet the new guy. Lin Mo watched their reaction with a scoff. The new boy introduced himself as Shen Lesson, but told them to just call him Lei. As they tried to guide him to the front entrance, Lei's eyes suddenly locked onto Wutong, who was walking nearby. He was captivated. He had transferred here to investigate the Yan Hui case, but unexpectedly, he had stumbled across someone who completely caught his eye. He was especially puzzled by Wutong's dramatic method of entering the classroom. She first knocked on the door with her foot, then flung it open aggressively. She didn't even pause before shouting at Lin Mo, "Fatty, don't even think about leaving after school today." Still seated, Lin Mo rolled his eyes and responded, "You could say that normally, you know. What kind of entrance is that?" Le stood in the hallway, utterly lost about what had just happened. Later that day, after school, Lin Mo stepped out of the classroom to find Wutong waiting for him. She commanded him to follow her. Lin Mo trailed behind her, trying to figure out what she wanted this time. Once they reached the chemistry lab, Lin Mo hesitated. Maybe she brought him here to tend to his wounds again? He stopped in his tracks and told her directly, "I've already healed. No need for more treatment. And if you grab my legs again, I'll call the cops." Wu-Tang, unfazed, shrugged. Who cares about the police? She then took out a small notebook and flipped it open. The pages contained crude but horrifying sketches, illustrations of torture and abduction methods. Lin Mo's expression shifted instantly. He recognized the style of punishment and realized that whoever was targeting Yan Hui might be planning to subject her to the same treatment. What shocked him more was the possibility that if he kept refusing Wu-Tang's help, he might end up in one of those diagrams himself. Wu-Tang explained that she suspected Yan Hui had teamed up with demons. She likely knew where the kidnapped teenagers were being held. Despite their team searching the country for days, Yan Hui had completely vanished. While cleaning his glasses, Lin Mo casually mocked, "That girl's always had a thing for spooky places. She's probably holed up in some haunted mansion or creepy village, somewhere no one goes." He reasoned that nobody had found her because the demon didn't want her to be found, probably using illusions or makeup to conceal her face. Wu-Tang paused. She had to admit, the fatty had a point. Yan Hui was likely using disguise magic and hiding in a desolate place saturated with yin energy, luring boys there for demonic purposes. As she left the school that day, she declared, "That's all for today. Yan Hui has to come back eventually." Lin Mo smirked. He had just fed her the exact clues she needed. That evening, Wu-Tang visited the dark web. She was on the hunt for a special magical item that could track yin energy and potentially lead them to Yan Hui. Meanwhile, Lin Mo also returned home and sat at his computer. He commanded Zuu to crawl out of his pocket and start listing their custom-built sign-on on the dark web auction site. Zuu obediently began typing with his tiny hands. Lin Mo told him to set the starting bid at 10,000. Zuu grinned and said he had already listed it for that price. Moments later, Zuu was shocked. "Master, the price just skyrocketed." Lin Mo peered at the screen and saw it. 5 million. Someone had just bid 5 million for the sign-on. Wu-Tang, at her place, had also begun bidding. She was desperate to win the auction and couldn't believe how fast the price had jumped. In her mind, she thought, if my team didn't have this kind of money, there'd be no way we could afford this item. Back in Lin Mo's room, he kept watching the bidder. The identity was obvious. Wu-Tang was the one pushing the price higher and higher. She finally slammed in a 10 million bid to end the war. "Sold," Lin Mo said calmly, sealing the deal. Zhu, mouth agape, was stunned by the amount. Does she have, like, sugar daddies or something? The next day, Wu-Tang and her team headed to the exact spot that Sinon had pointed toward, the direction where yin energy was strongest. With her was an elder cultivator named Ajian, a seasoned expert from the foundation stage who rarely assisted others. Her praise was hard to earn. Ajian stepped forward, drawing her sword. She warned the group to stay behind as she scouted ahead. But the moment she advanced, enormous demonic hands lunged out of the ground to strike her. She reacted swiftly, slicing them apart with her blade. Yet it was a trap. The demon activated a magic formation to trap and kill them all. Wu-Tang was also attacked. Hands tried grabbing her by the legs. She struggled but couldn't break free. In desperation, she pulled out her firearm and fired at the formation. The explosion disrupted the attack and saved her just in time. Another demon emerged, charging straight at Wu-Tang. She retaliated with fierce firepower, ultimately killing it. All the while, Lin Mo watched the chaos unfold through one of his paper dolls. He noticed something unusual. The weapon Wu-Tang had used wasn't ordinary. It was a high-grade modern device hidden inside a ring. That was no coincidence. Just then, Zuu panicked. A girl had broken through the wall with a punch. It was Zixuan, but under a hypnotic trance. "She's the same one who captured Lin Zixuan," Zhu cried. Lin Mo told him not to panic. "I already predicted this. Don't move." He realized that Yan Hui had hypnotized these teens to carry out kidnappings. The Phoenix group was still locked in combat, so there was no way Yan Hui would show up in person. That meant this girl had been sent as a proxy to abduct him. This was Lin Mo's chance. If he played along and got taken to the enemy's hideout, he could confront Yan Hui directly. The girl struck him with a vicious punch. Lin Mo went flying and collapsed, feigning unconsciousness. Luckily, he had activated a protective aura before the hit. Otherwise, he would have been dead or paralyzed. Still pretending to be knocked out, Lin Mo allowed her to toss a cloth over his face and throw him into a vehicle along with Zixuan. They were both tossed into a long black car. The girl drove the car to a massive, ominous building and dragged them inside. After bringing them into a large room, she ripped the cloth off Lin Mo's face. Lin Mo opened his eyes. Standing before him was Yan Hui. She looked down on him with arrogance and mocked. "Well, look who's here." Lin Mo, unfazed, smirked. I've seen that face so many times now, not surprised at all. Her face twisted in irritation. She grabbed him by the collar and slammed him into the wall. You've got a big mouth, she snapped. Stay away from me, Lin Mo warned. At that moment, a demon beside her chuckled. He said she was treating Lin Mo like a celebrity, but she needed to hurry. Xiao Wutong had broken the formation and was on her way. Time was running out. Haiyan Hui became excited at the thought of battling the Emperor, as the demon called him. She told Lin Mo to stay put and behave while she handled business. She turned to leave. Lin Mo silently watched her go, thinking that the demon's sword must be in communication with Haiyan Hui directly if they were speaking in sync like that. Meanwhile, Zixuan was trapped inside a cage, tossing and turning in his sleep. He was having a nightmare. Someone was coming for him, someone intent on killing. He cried out, begging not to be harmed. When he finally jolted awake, he found himself locked in a cell among several others. Panic set in. He shouted for help, pleaded for someone to let him out. But there was no response, only silence. Elsewhere, Wutong was seething. She couldn't believe that Haiyan Hui had turned the place into a breeding ground of yin energy. It was a trap from the start, just a decoy. The real center of operations where the missing teenagers were hidden had to be elsewhere. With this realization, Wutong ordered her group to move out again, to follow the next reading from the Sinon. But as they turned to leave, a massive demonic figure appeared behind them. With a sinister laugh, the demon mocked. "Where do you think you're going?" His voice echoed with malice. He attacked without warning, unleashing a wave of power that sent the entire group flying. This wasn't just any demon. He was bloated with power, having absorbed the energy of countless young victims. His body was enormous, and his arms alone could crush boulders. He went straight for Wutong. She tried to resist, but his strength was overwhelming. Suddenly, Ajian, the older cultivator, intervened. Her blade intercepted the demon's strike. She shouted, "Back off, I'll deal with you." The demon sneered. "You think you can handle me? Just an old woman surrounded by weaklings?" Ajian didn't back down. "You've absorbed too much from the innocent. It ends here." The demon roared, raising a new magical formation around them. "No one's leaving alive," he bellowed. The aura of death hung in the air. Ajian instantly recognized the technique. This was a soul-eater formation. She warned everyone to use their protective auras, or they'd be devoured from the inside. One of the female team members activated her aura, trying to shield herself, but it was too late. The formation closed around her, and her soul was violently ripped from her body. Her lifeless form collapsed, empty-eyed. Wutong watched in horror. Her grip tightened on her ring. She whispered a quick spell, and in a flash, a bow and arrow appeared in her hands. She aimed straight at the ghost-like face within the formation, hoping to strike the core. She let the arrow fly. It hit the edge of the barrier, but failed to break it. The demon laughed, taunting her. "Is that all? That tickles." Ajian gritted her teeth. "Our power is being suppressed by this formation. We can't pierce it like this." The demon inhaled deeply, and with a gust of cursed breath, the air itself turned against them. From the mist, corrupted corpses, former members of Wutong's team, rose and stumbled toward her. They weren't just animated bodies. These were blood puppets, souls twisted into husks, turned into weapons. One of them lunged at Wutong with a shriek. Her sword materialized from her ring just in time. With a swift slash, she cut it down. But more came. One after another, these puppets surrounded her. Her blade moved like lightning, slicing through them, but the weight of the moment crushed her spirit. These weren't monsters, these were her friends. Ajian tried to support her, but Wutong was quickly overwhelmed. Her old teammates, now monstrous shells, clawed at her from all directions. One, in particular, Zhao, her close friend, paused in front of her. "It's me," she pleaded. "We're friends. Don't hurt me." Wutong hesitated for a split second. Then she struck. The blade tore through Zhao's body. Tears welled up in Wutong's eyes. She collapsed, wounded and devastated. Her sword faded away. She had nothing left to give. As she lay there coughing, blood pooling around her, more puppets gathered. Their cold eyes stared her down. They moved in. She whispered, "I didn't know it would come to this. I should never have brought them here." Suddenly, one puppet raised a gleaming dagger. Ajian screamed, "Xiao Wutong," and tried to reach her. But the demon cast another illusion spell, obscuring her vision. Wutang, barely conscious, saw the blade descending. "This is my fault," she murmured. "I brought her into this too." Just before the dagger struck, a sword came slicing through the air like a bolt of lightning. The puppet's head was severed cleanly. The blade stabbed into the ground beside Wutang. The attack hadn't come from Ajian. It came from someone else. Standing tall amidst the chaos, radiating immense power, was Zhao Hongling, Wutong's grandmother and the leader of the Phoenix group. She had arrived just in time. Hongling rushed to Wutong's side and knelt beside her. "I felt your life force fading," she said softly. "I came as fast as I could. Hopefully, not too late." Wutong blinked in shock. Grandmother? Hongling didn't answer. She focused instead on the puppet still standing behind them. As it lunged again, she swung her sword and decapitated it effortlessly. Ajian, witnessing the scene, whispered in awe, "That's Mrs. Hongling." The demon, watching from afar, laughed. "So, you've come to die too?" Xiao Hongling raised 2 fingers and pointed toward him. "Back off, demon. No one wants to see that disgusting face of yours." The demon sneered and mocked her, calling her a fool for thinking a mere mortal could challenge him. But Hongling wasn't afraid. With a swift flick of her wrist, she hurled her sword straight at the demon's face. The sword pierced through the magical formation. The demon staggered, disappearing with a screech. Wutong stared in disbelief. "That's it? One strike was enough?" Hongling turned to her. "If I had come earlier, you wouldn't be this hurt. Your veins wouldn't be damaged." She handed Wutang a medicinal clay pill. "Drink this, now." Wutang swallowed it without hesitation. The effects were instant. Her pain dulled and her body stabilized. She quickly informed her grandmother that one of her schoolmates was still missing, captured, and possibly being targeted by Yan Hui. She begged her to help rescue Lin Mo before it was too late. Hongling nodded gently. "I know, sweetheart, but for now, you rest." Wutang lost consciousness soon after. Hongling turned to Ajian and asked what this schoolmate situation was about. Based on their analysis and Wutang's suspicions, Ajian explained that Yan Hui was likely hiding in a location rich with extreme yin energy. She showed Hongling the very sign-in they had purchased from the black market. It was calibrated to detect exactly that. Hongling placed her sword down and focused. She could feel the pulse of yin energy vibrating nearby. "It's close," she muttered. She attempted to mount her sword and fly, but being so short, she stumbled a bit. After regaining balance, she finally managed to take off. Before leaving, she ordered Ajian to take Wutang back to headquarters and ensure her wounds were properly treated. Riding her sword through the sky, Xiao Hongling narrowed her eyes. If the Emperor really has returned, then we're not just up against a rogue demon anymore. Back at the demon's hideout, Yan Hui sat cross-legged inside a magic formation, a circle enclosed within a triangle, surrounded by rows of cages. In the middle of it all, she was channeling dark energy. Her goal was clear: absorb Yang's life force to strengthen herself. But Lin Mo, watching her through a paper puppet, explained to Zhu that this kind of demonic absorption came with a price. The more power Yan Hui gained, the faster she would age. Her body was deteriorating from within. Suddenly, Yan Hui's expression changed. She sensed something, or someone, disturbing her energy. She rose and went to check. Outside the door stood a little girl. Yan Hui frowned. "Is this kid lost?" But the girl smiled confidently. "Such a cute little girl. Came here just to meet you." Yan Hui's eyes widened in alarm. It was Xiao Hongling in disguise. Meanwhile, Zixuan was still locked in one of the cages. He cried out to Lin Mo, begging him for help. "Please, I can't take this anymore. Get me out of here." Lin Mo, ever calm, told him to stay strong. "We'll get out of this." Before they could say more, an intense energy wave rippled through the building. It was Xiao Hongling. She had dropped the disguise and launched a brutal assault on Yan Hui. Her attack struck hard. Yan Hui stumbled, coughing from the pain. "Who the hell are you?" she yelled. But Hongling wasn't done. Hovering midair on her sword, she looked down. "Already whining? We're just getting started." Yan Hui didn't respond. Her blood dripped onto the floor. "Cat got your tongue," Hongling taunted. As if to answer, Yan Hui unleashed a sudden counterattack. She summoned energy and flung a flying sword toward Hongling. It was a direct hit, except Hongling dodged it with flawless agility. Yan Hui collapsed again, the backlash of her own magic hitting her. She sat on the ground, bleeding, dazed. "Who is this woman? You done already?" Hongling asked smugly, still perched calmly atop her sword. "Or are you just not in the mood to fight?" As Yan Hui gritted her teeth in frustration, the demon beside her appeared. Calm and composed, he comforted her and proposed a new plan. The demon had partially reincarnated into a body named Han Zeni. Though loyal to the venerable demon, Han Zeni operated with her own independence. The day before, the demon had summoned all its fragmented forms, including Han Zeni, to play a symbolic game of Go, a ritual of strategy and planning. Han Zeni thought to herself, "I've played against champions before, but Lin Mo, he's something else." Elsewhere, Shen Lesson found himself in danger. He had transferred into the school to investigate the Yan Hui case, but now a demonic ghost had caught him, holding him tightly with malicious intent. The demon mocked him, threatening to end his life. Shen Lesson warned the demon he had no idea who he was messing with. "I'm a member of the Heavenly Demon Sect," he said boldly. The ghost snickered. "And? Should I be impressed? If everyone in your sect is as weak as you, then I might just wipe them all out for fun." Despite Shen Leson's warnings, the ghost lifted him by the neck. Shen Leson screamed for help. Then, the door burst open. Dust filled the air. Heavy footsteps echoed. Han Zeni walked in. The ghost, upon seeing her, immediately collapsed in fear. "Master, forgive me." Han Zeni placed her foot on his face. "Stop crying like a baby," she said coldly. The demonic ghost whimpered. This feeling, it's familiar. He couldn't deny it. Being stepped on like that stirred some warped sense of loyalty in him. Meanwhile, Shen Lesson, still pinned to the ground, begged Han Zeni to save him. He explained his background. He was the son of the heavenly demon sex patriarch, and if she spared him, he'd do anything for her. Still pressing the ghost's face into the floor, Han Zeni looked at Lesson and smirked. "You're lucky. I like obedient pets. If you're willing to be my dog, I might let you live." Lesson, without hesitation, barked. "Wawa." She turned to the ghost. "He's a good boy. Keep him alive. I can use him." Lesson, now panting like a dog, swore his loyalty. In his mind, he thought, so this is how it starts. I'll serve her, and maybe rise through her ranks. As Han Zeni walked out, she asked the ghost about the next steps with Yan Hui. The ghost explained that he was using Yan Hui as a vessel, absorbing energy through her to regain his power. Currently, they were hiding out in an abandoned factory located in the western Huni district. At their current pace, the demon estimated he'd fully restore his power in 10 days. Han Zeni asked if Yan Hui was fully under control. The ghost replied that she was easy to manipulate, especially using Lin Mo as bait. Her lust and obsession made her an ideal puppet. Han Zeni rolled her eyes. "Your plans are always idiotic, but this might just work. Still, stall her if she tries to act early." She added, "My game with Lin Mo isn't over. I won't let anything happen to him just yet." The demon was stunned when Han Zeni told him something else. The Emperor had already returned to this world. "What? The Emperor is here?" Han Zeni nodded. "And it's not just that. I can feel a demonic sword fragment awakening, probably near a farm. The Emperor must be close by." She recalled how another sword, massive and ancient, had once crushed that same fragment. It was a sword like a rainbow, and in 1,000 years, she had only ever seen one emperor wield something that powerful. She gave the ghost one final instruction. Continue using Yan Hui to act as bait and build up a false sense of confidence. Make her believe she can beat the emperor. It'll break her when she realizes she can't. Meanwhile, back at the hideout, Yan Hui was tying cloth around her wounds. The demon approached. "You need to kill that clever girl. I'll heal you up with power. Just give me control." Yan Hui hesitated, but when she looked up and saw Xiao Hongling floating mid-air, surrounded by an orbit of sharp swords, fear gripped her heart. She confessed to the demon, "I've never fought anyone seriously before. I don't know how." "Then let me in," the demon said. "Let me take over." As demonic energy surged through her body, her timid eyes transformed into terrifying red orbs. Her aura flared. Her voice deepened. "You're nothing but a burden," she spat at Hongling. "I'll end you here." Hongling raised her hand. Her swords shot toward Yan Hui, but Yan Hui shattered them with a spinning kick, enhanced by her demonic sword. A protective barrier quickly formed around Hongling. Yan Hui snarled. "Still standing? Here, have a parting gift." She threw a glowing orb. When it exploded, a massive serpent burst out. Its scales were dark as night, its fangs dripping with cursed venom. Hongling narrowed her eyes. A lost ancient technique, but its power is weaker than legend. The serpent hissed and launched a magical orb from its mouth straight toward her. Hongling darted to the side, reappearing behind it. Her counterstrike wasted the serpent's attack. The smoke cleared. A shadow stood behind the two women. It was the venerable beast. More specifically, it was the demon behind everything. A massive sword levitated in the air above it, humming with dark power. Hongling's voice dropped. So, it finally came out. She wasn't just facing a possessed girl anymore. She was now face to face with the source of it all. As the dust cleared, Xiao Hongling stared up at the ominous floating sword. It wasn't just any sword. It radiated a dark energy that twisted the air around it. Hongling muttered, "So it's abandoned its host. But this isn't just a sword." Before she could react, a shadowy figure materialized behind her. It was the demon, fully formed now, speaking with a voice like thunder. "Did I just hear you call me a broken sword?" Xiao Hongling turned sharply, caught off guard. The demon sneered. "You've got some nerve, attacking me when my host is away. You should have stayed in your little corner." The pressure from her presence was suffocating. Hongling's breathing grew shallow. She could feel her body resisting even the act of standing upright. This aura wasn't normal. It was like being crushed beneath the ocean floor. The demon mocked her again. "So this is the famous #1 fighter of the Phoenix group. Disappointing." But Hongling wasn't backing down. With a loud incantation, she summoned an ancient Taoist technique. The seal of 10,000 talismans, Scrolls of light and paper surrounded the demon, wrapping her like a cocoon. Then, she activated the 4 heavenly flames, igniting the seals with a cleansing fire. A massive lotus of red flame bloomed in the center of the room. Next, she triggered the evil skylock, a powerful spell meant to suppress demonic entities. The light burst outward, and her voice rang like a bell. Let light overcome darkness. Suddenly, the demon flickered. A smoky illusion of her appeared again, clapping mockingly. Impressive, but predictable. The real demon emerged from within the flame. She didn't even look hurt. You really are the strongest in your group, she said. But is this all it takes to be number 1? In a blink, the demon thrust her blade forward. It pierced through Hong's stomach. Blood spurted out. She collapsed to the ground, gripping the wound. Her sword fell from her hand. As her vision blurred, she apologized silently to her master. I failed. Her body was too weak to use even 10% of my power. I couldn't make the Emperor appear. Despite the injury, she summoned what strength she had left. Reaching for a buried blade, she pulled it out with trembling fingers and hurled it at the demon. She barely turned in time to dodge it. The attack wasn't strong, but it was enough to get her attention. Hongling growled, I was hoping to find out what you were up to through Xiao Wutong, but it turns out she wasn't even a small fish in this pond. The demon wasn't amused. She turned toward the cages of prisoners, including Lin Mo and Zixuan. You're wasting time, Hongling hissed. I'll fix that, she replied. Hongling lifted her hand and shouted into the darkness. Immortal Emperor, I know you're watching. You've seen enough. Stop hiding and come out. The air grew still. No reply. Has coming into this world made you a coward? She sneered. Is this what the strongest man in the world looks like now? You rule with this kind of strength? She walked over to the cages and held her sword toward them. If you don't come out, I'll start killing everyone here, one by one. Still, silence. She counted aloud. 1. A wave of energy exploded from her palm, shaking the entire building. The prisoners screamed. Some fainted in terror. 2. Flames sparked in her hand, burning with crimson demonic energy. Help us, the prisoners shouted. Please, anyone. 3. The ground trembled. Then, just as she released the spell, he appeared. The immortal Emperor. His presence alone extinguished the fire in her hand. Her eyes widened, and a grin spread across her face. I knew you weren't dead. The temperature in the room dropped. The air turned electric, and the real battle was about to begin. The immortal Emperor shows up out of nowhere. The venerable demon sees him and smirks. She knew he wasn't dead. Despite everything, there's a strange sense of relief in her expression. At the same time, in a totally different part of the city, people are freaking out. A giant beam of light suddenly shoots into the sky, right in the middle of the rain. A reporter is on the scene, announcing that this weird light just erupted from an abandoned factory in Hungi district. It's freezing cold outside, but the heat coming from the light is so intense, it's lighting up the entire sky. Crowds start to gather. Someone grabs a stranger's phone, trying to check if the light made a hole in the ground. People are tossing out wild theories. Some say it's a laser from a satellite. Then, something moves in the clouds, and that just confuses everyone even more. Photos start flooding social media. Song Yunshu stares at her screen in shock. Right as the beam appeared, her phone's signal cut off. Her mom snaps her back to reality, asking if she's still messing around on her phone and whether she's done with her homework. Yunshu is sure the Emperor is still somewhere in Hungi district. That's far, but she's thinking about Lin Mo. His house is there too. She originally planned to search for Hui, but now, this light might change everything. The photos from the student group look too real to be fake. She reaches for the door, thinking the day's already been chaotic. Then, bang, the door blasts open. The immortal Emperor charges in, dragging the venerable demon by the head. Yunshu freezes, completely stunned. The broken doorknob is still in her hand. She asks what just happened to him. Not long ago, the venerable demon had launched a brutal attack. She mocked the Emperor, saying without his holy sword he was nothing. Then she hurled him off a building like it was nothing and lit up a massive fireball. Her voice was full of madness. She didn't just want to beat him, she wanted to make a statement. From that fireball, a massive serpent formed and shot up into the sky. She unleashed one of her strongest attacks, burning flare of the underworld serpent. The explosion tore through the area, destroying buildings and sending people running in every direction. She looked down at the Emperor, disgusted that he managed to survive by using a protective shell. She mocked him again, saying people like him always hide behind a turtle shell. He didn't flinch. He said that in the past, demon kings were already dangerous, but today's generation, even worse. He admitted that back in his old life, he didn't want to believe it. But now it's clear. She's exactly like the monsters that came before her. That struck a nerve. She snapped. How dare he talk about her family? Who was he to judge? Fueled by rage, she summoned more magic, unleashing a wave of attacks through the serpent. The destruction kept spreading, buildings collapsed, and it felt like the whole city was crumbling. She yelled that she didn't want to kill innocent people, but if he died, everyone else could live. She told him to stop resisting and just let her end him. He called her bluff, said all the demon kings were the same. Hypocrites, every last one. She didn't deny it. She just kept attacking harder. Eventually, the Emperor's shield cracked. She watched closely, thinking it was over, but suddenly, a sword flew toward him. He raised his hand and caught it mid-air, saying it had finally arrived. He could feel its power. It was worth the wait. She didn't panic. She grinned. Earlier, she had slipped a talisman onto the gun held by the girl in the room. She used the Emperor's shield time to bait him, draw out his next move. Now he was exposed. This was her chance. She stepped forward and teased him. Why are emperors always so emotional? She lunged at him, slashing with her sword, daring him to do something with the trash in his hand. The Emperor focused. He activated the third law of life. Then came celestial intervention. The sword pulsed with energy. Flames erupted. He attacked, using refinement of heavenly fire. She staggered back but smiled. Of course he had new moves. He always did. She dashed forward to strike again. Her blade hit its mark. He winced. She was faster this time. But then, something strange happened. Her sword hit. Nothing. The impact vanished mid-swing. What just touched him? Was this part of his plan too? She started questioning everything. Were weapons in this world really this weird? No aura, just pure physical force. She flung her blade again, releasing a blast of demonic energy. As she dodged a slow-moving projectile, a second shot came out of nowhere and hit her. Another explosion. This time, it wasn't him. It was the police. They were attacking from the sidelines. The blast ripped through the building where the venerable demon had been. The Emperor watched calmly. Everything was unfolding exactly the way he'd planned. He figured the local military could hold her off for about 2 minutes, tops. But even with all their firepower, without the holy sword, he stood no real chance against her. To truly win this fight, he needed a weapon on the same level as the sacred sword. He was already mid-battle when he began forging that weapon, and now, the final steps were almost complete. Jets soared overhead, launching attack after attack until they ran out of fuel. As they prepared to retreat, the ground cracked open, and something massive burst out. A terrifying beast snatched one of the jets mid-air, crushing it with its bare hands. It lunged at another one next, shredding it into pieces. The creature, giant, loud, and monstrous, began tearing through the city. The venerable demon stood watching, completely unfazed. She muttered that this was what happened when people got in the way of her battles. If they wanted to stop her, they'd have to kill the Emperor. That was the only option. She called the monster a locust beast, a walking storm of spiritual energy. Her master could use it as a distraction and catch the Emperor while he was vulnerable. It'd be a guaranteed win. But she also figured the Emperor wasn't stupid. He had probably planned for this too. Still, her master had to move fast. Every second counted. Then she noticed something strange. A little boy was crying, calling out for his father. He was terrified and alone in the middle of the chaos. The locust beast's hand reached out toward the kid, and that's when something in her shifted. She froze. That moment reminded her of herself as a child. Lost, alone, calling for help, and no one ever came. Rain started falling across the city. Panic spread as people realized this wasn't just normal weather. Song Yunshu sat in a car with her father, who kept trying to call her mother, but she wasn't answering. News broke that the monster had mysteriously vanished. Gone. Just like that. Yunshu stared out the window in shock. It wasn't supposed to rain today. Why was it pouring now? Meanwhile, by the coast, a massive tidal wave formed. People pulled out their phones, filming in awe. Something was happening. High above the water, the Emperor stood with his hand gripping the beam of light. He was controlling it. He closed his fist, and then opened it with force. Pressure exploded outward, shaking the ground, flipping cars, and flooding the roads. He used his water magic to reverse the rising heat and cool the entire area. Yunshu stepped out of the car, stunned. Her father yelled at her to come back, but she didn't listen. She stared in disbelief. The river, completely gone, drained. Far above, the Emperor hovered in the sky, gripping the light like a spear. As the glow faded, he stood tall, his holy sword shining in his hand once again. But he wasn't alone. The venerable demon appeared in front of him. She smirked and said she'd waited long enough. He looked ridiculous, she said, still trying to act noble. He replied that he felt the same way about her. She laughed, saying she didn't like dragging things out. It was time to end this once and for all. She powered up her blade with demonic energy, preparing to land the final blow. The Emperor raised his sword, ready to meet her head-on. She activated her strongest move, Demonic Domain Descent. The sky darkened instantly. In response, the Emperor funneled all his energy into a single blade edge, using his Everything Ends sword technique. She slashed forward, casting a catastrophic wave of darkness. He struck back with Demon Breaker, Thousand Autumns. Their attacks collided mid-air. Shockwaves tore through the sky. Even the clouds split apart. She grinned through the impact. This was what she'd waited for. Now that he had a proper sword, he had no excuses if he lost again. The Emperor muttered an ancient line, how falling stars carved paths in the sky, and the cold light froze the heavens. His blade shined with forbidden energy. She suddenly realized what he was doing. He was using the same forbidden sword ritual from their last fight. She cursed herself. She should have brought a stronger demon sword. Her current one couldn't withstand this level of power. The sky itself cracked open. She took a heavy hit and went flying, bleeding and barely holding herself up. She muttered that this level of destruction was just too much. The Emperor walked toward her, calmly. He said the outcome was clear. He had won, but she didn't accept that. No, this fight wasn't over yet. She yelled that he had the other half of the magic sword, and she had no idea how he got it. She'd hidden the fragments so well. How did he collect them? Even so, she laughed bitterly. Sacrificing that sword still wouldn't be enough to kill her. After that clash, both of them were out of energy, but she held one half of the sword more than he did. Even if she won like this, it'd be a hollow victory. Suddenly, something pierced through her back. A sword, hidden, summoned from behind, stabbed right through her body. A voice came from the sword, mocking her. You really think you can tell me what to do, especially when you're this close to death? The sword wasn't done. It attacked again, unleashing another devastating strike. The Emperor rushed in and caught her just before she hit the ground. The sword's voice laughed, calling him an opportunist. You gonna save her now? Pathetic. She looked at the Emperor and told him to put her down. Being saved by him felt no different than being stabbed. He told her to stop being dramatic and save her energy. He had a plan, and he needed her help, but she had to promise him something first. She gave a faint nod. The sword demon, still watching, shouted at them. What are you whispering about? Then it attacked again. The Emperor moved first, activating 10,000 demons binding. Glowing prisons of light shot out and trapped the sword demon midair. The demon's sword froze, stunned by the sudden power. The Emperor said the prison of light could only be broken using pure yang energy. He mocked the demon sword. You're so mighty, right? But you can't even use yang energy? Pathetic. The sword demon snarled in anger and started pushing against the glowing chains, breaking free through sheer rage. It lunged at the Emperor, shouting, Do you still think you're some all-powerful emperor? Who gave you the right to talk like that? It punched toward him. The Emperor calmly raised 2 fingers and blocked the strike like it was nothing. The sword demon froze. That shouldn't have been possible. The Emperor explained that he'd gathered every sword fragment, including the one on his own body. He had originally planned to use it as a last resort against the venerable demon, but it had come in handy in a completely different way. The sword demon didn't have time to react. The Emperor called out to the venerable demon to take her turn. She didn't hesitate. She unleashed a wave of demonic energy, hitting the demon sword and ripping the yang power out of it. The sword demon screamed, begging them to stop. Don't take my power, stop. She ignored him. In seconds, his power was drained completely. He turned back into a regular sword. The venerable demon absorbed all of it and stood tall. She was glowing with strength. She smiled and said she was right. The yang energy sealed inside that broken sword had never really faded. Even now, it was still there. Then she looked down at the sword. Time to settle this. Before the venerable demon could finish her next move, another beast appeared out of nowhere. The sword demon looked up, and his eyes lit up. It was the beast of chaos. He started laughing. Looks like the heavens haven't abandoned me after all. Then, without a second thought, he bailed. Have fun with the beast, he smirked, running off while the monster charged forward. The venerable demon turned to the Emperor. I followed your plan. What now? The next step, he said, is repairing the sky. She blinked. Repair the sky? I'm a demon. I know how to destroy, not fix. There's no technique for that in any demonic art I've ever learned. He didn't argue. Then I'll do it alone. Just remember what you promised. He lifted his sword and activated 1,000 heavenly planes, a rare divine art. Energy surged from his body and stretched into the sky, reaching toward the massive crack in the heavens. Slowly, the tier began to close. The venerable demon watched in silence, stunned by how powerful his spiritual pull was. But as the sky started healing, the strain on the Emperor became obvious. His nose bled, his face turned pale. He had drained almost every drop of energy from his body. He collapsed before the rift could completely seal. The venerable demon caught his hand just in time. In that moment, it was revealed. Her kind, the venerable demons, had always followed a brutal path. The more they killed, the stronger they became. That was their way. But today, even after countless civilians died, she hadn't gotten any stronger. Earlier, the Emperor had figured out what she was trying to do. The yang energy she'd stored in the magic sword, maybe she had always planned to provoke him, push him to use his full power, then use that moment to bring everyone back to life. They made a deal. He would help her regain her strength, and in return, she'd handle what came next. He trusted her. He believed in the honor of the venerable demon. Now she was asking him to stay awake. "Come back," she whispered, holding his hand. The rifts almost shut, but he couldn't move. He was completely spent. He looked at her weakly and said, "You saved that child, even though you knew everyone would be revived anyway." She froze. What was he talking about? Before she could ask, the rift closed, taking him with it. He vanished into the sky. She fell back down, gripping the paper doll he left behind. It still carried his energy. Later, she stood on the rooftop of a tall building, staring at the doll in her hand. She remembered something. Then, suddenly determined, she tried to summon his body back. But the effort was too much. She collapsed, coughing up blood. Her demonic energy was nearly gone. She slumped against the ground and thought, if bringing back one person costs nearly a century of cultivation, then reviving everyone must have cost even more. She looked at the paper doll one last time and let it fly into the sky. "I kept my promise," she whispered. 1 week passed. The venerable demon was lying in bed, fast asleep. She was having a nightmare. In her dream, she saw the Emperor, tied up, bloodied, hanging from a wall. A demon beside her handed her a sword and told her to kill him. "He's a spy," the demon said. "He murdered our people." She hesitated. Her hands trembled, but the demon pushed her forward. The blade went into his chest. Blood splattered everywhere. She was horrified. She hadn't meant to do it. Her hands were soaked. The demon laughed in her face, saying kindness was a weakness, and that mercy would get everyone she cared about killed. Then the dream shifted. She remembered the moment the Emperor had fallen into the rift. She tried to save him, but failed. His voice echoed in her head, asking her again. Why did she save that child, knowing they'd all come back anyway? He smiled at her, right before he disappeared into the light. She woke up, gasping. The next day, leaders and representatives from different immortal sects gathered for a meeting. They were still trying to process what had happened during that insane battle. 2 powerful forces had clashed. Half a city was destroyed. The sky itself was split open. And yet, somehow, everyone who died had come back. That wasn't something they could afford to ignore. Wai Tanru, the daughter of the Eternal Life Sect's Heavenly Master Yang, angrily said they couldn't just sit around and wait to die while trusting stinky fish and rotten shrimp. Someone from the Yachi Immortal Clan replied that a single sword strike had torn the sky open. Had she ever seen something like that? Even the sword sect master looked embarrassed and admitted she'd never heard of a technique that powerful. Lianen from the Tai sword sect spoke up, saying it was pointless to mock others. Even the whole immortal world combined couldn't poke a hole in the sky like that. The saint of the Yao Kai Immortal Clan added that this was serious. Senior Xiao had been killed in one strike. This wasn't just a random outburst of power. In the middle of all that, Xiao Yuden from the Phoenix Group rolled her eyes and asked her grandma why they were all here just to complain. Her grandmother replied that she was planning to consult Senior Hongling about how to move forward. She reminded everyone that the White Cloud Clan had always been the guardians of the oracles, the ones chosen by heaven to protect the world. Since ancient times, heaven's words were passed down to them. They had a special item, the Tears of Heaven. They were supposed to use it to follow the straight path and cleanse heretics. Now, it was time. One of the clan members was chosen to drink the tear of heaven. They believed it would awaken the daughter of heaven's destiny. They didn't know exactly what effect it would have, but it was their last hope. Someone asked what this had to do with their current battle plan. The grandma looked at Xiao Wutong and said, "When you were brought to the White Cloud Temple for treatment, your soul was scattered. Your organs were barely hanging on." She hadn't told Senior Hongling, but honestly, she hadn't expected Wutong to survive. Wutong was confused. "But I'm fine now. Why?" Her grandma said it was because of what had happened to the world, because of the massive collapse and the return of heroics. And because of that, the Tears of Heaven broke their ancient seal. Instead of using it the usual way, the tear chose to merge with her. That's how Wutong became the daughter of Heaven's destiny. Wutong couldn't believe what she was hearing. She was now the daughter of Heaven's destiny. Her entire life had flipped in an instant. Another elder chimed in, saying that since she carried such a title, they had to support her cultivation. Their suggestion: find her a dual cultivation partner. One man asked teasingly which boy from the Yachi clan she liked. they could pair her with him. Another woman jumped in, saying if they really wanted Utong to reach her full potential, they'd need someone with a pure, untouched body for the dual practice. That was the only way to unlock a real opportunity. Utong's jaw dropped. She turned to her grandmother, shocked. Is that true? Her grandma confirmed it with a straight face. A body suited for cultivation would have a pure immortal aura, and someone with that kind of body would naturally disrupt a woman's spiritual balance, especially someone like Utong. That's why, her grandma explained, they needed to find the most handsome, pure-hearted guy in the entire country. Utong was completely thrown off. Wait, when did this become about finding me a husband? Another man said that pure bodies like that were typically young, and since having a large age gap in dual cultivation could mess things up, they decided the best way to solve this was a beauty contest. Nationwide, across every high school. Utong was speechless. Meanwhile, Yao Kennen was already planning it. He had school names, potential candidates, everything. At the same time, word reached the venerable demon. The Phoenix Group had officially decided to help Xiao Utong, now the daughter of Heaven's destiny, find a cultivation partner. The method? A beauty contest between high schoolers across the country. Even the paper doll reported it, saying they wanted her, yes, her, to participate. Xiao Hongling personally said so. The venerable demon sighed. Of course, they wanted her involved. It'd be the perfect way to keep tabs on the Phoenix Group and their chosen one. But there was something else. The Phoenix Group was also organizing a full-scale search for the Emperor. That changed everything. It had already been a week since the big battle, but her energy hadn't recovered at all. Her body was weak, and her resurrection had ruined her foundation. To make things worse, after the magic sword's betrayal, both the Emperor and the sword itself had become her enemies. Right now, she was cornered. She decided to lay low, rest, recover. Then, when she had her strength back, she'd go after the sword. But until then, she had to play the role of a high school girl named Hansen perfectly. She got up and told her bodyguard she wanted a specific pot. He told her to go get it from the other side of the courtyard. She made her way to her master, who was meditating. She asked if he was doing okay. He didn't even open his eyes. Didn't I tell you to keep track of Xiao Utong? She updated him. The meeting had ended. They confirmed that Utong was now the daughter of Heaven's destiny and were planning to marry her off through a national school contest. He wasn't surprised. Of course, they want her to level up by using dual cultivation to fight me. She admitted she didn't catch every detail from the paper doll, but she heard that the entire immortal world was also searching for him and the demon that was after him. He sighed. Leave, don't disturb me again. Alone in his thoughts, he realized the continuous use of forbidden arts had destroyed his body. He was basically mortal again. If he wanted to survive, he needed to lay low and hide his true identity. Lin Mo. The next morning, he ran into the venerable demon again. She still had attitude. You beat me, she admitted, but only because I let you. Remember, I said I'd grant you one wish if you ever won. She paused, expecting something cheesy like a date. Instead, he shrugged it off. We'll talk about it later. She scowled. Seriously? I give you a free wish, and you act like it's no big deal? You're lucky I don't beat you again right now. Elsewhere, Song Yunu was frantically looking for Lin Mo. She finally found him. She was out of breath. There you are. I've been looking for you all day. She started telling him about the beauty contest, and how surprisingly, he wasn't on the list. But before she could say more, Lin Mo just brushed past her like he didn't care. She was confused. He worked so hard on his looks, even dieting to lose weight. How could he not care? But then, she figured it out. Maybe he didn't want anyone to know he actually volunteered. She made a decision. She would sign him up herself. A few days later, the results came out. First place, someone named Nu. Utong was livid. There's no way I'm marrying a guy like that. No way he's becoming my cultivation partner. But then, second place was revealed. Lin Mo. Now everyone waited for her reaction. Meanwhile, in another classroom, a bunch of students were watching Mr. Shen's guitar video. They were blushing, giggling, totally obsessed. Yuan got mad. Y'all are disgusting. Isn't Lin Mo enough eye candy for this class? One of the girls called her out. Didn't you secretly save that video too? Shut up, she yelled. That's different. You even watch it at night, another teased. She exploded. Fine. I totally share a bed with him. He's perfect, okay? Meanwhile, across the room, the boys rolled their eyes. They're so shallow. One of them groaned. I worked on my photos for 8 hours straight. I thought I'd win. Another added, Lin Mo beat you. You never stood a chance. Then someone yelled, Shen Leshen is here. Girls swarmed the doorway as he walked in, full of charm. He raised a hand, asking for silence. I've got something to say, to Xiao Utong. She was confused. Why is he even here? Shen walked straight to her and handed her something. I baked you cookies, he said, smiling. She pushed them back. I don't eat childish stuff. Shen froze. Why wasn't his charm working? He'd used his special voice, Heavenly Demon's voice, to charm countless girls. But Utong, nothing. she wasn't affected at all. That was when he realized it had to be her new identity. As the daughter of destiny, she might be immune to seductive tricks. Later, Wutang sat in the cafeteria, still fuming. She knew Shen was a cultivator, and that heavenly demon's voice he used, it proved he was an evil one. If you really became her cultivation partner, the entire Phoenix group could be in danger. And yet, he was still one of the finalists chosen by her grandma. That meant the higher-ups hadn't noticed anything strange about him yet. They might even think he was perfect. She realized, in either case, approaching her grandma would be useless. They wouldn't listen. That's when her friend ran over. "Hey, I saw Lin Mo walking alone. You better hurry." Wutang tried to brush it off, pretending she didn't care. Her friend teased, Sure. You're just friends, right? Is that why your nose is bleeding again?" She grabbed tissues and ran off. Wutang ran down the hallway, trying to hide the fact that her nose was bleeding again. Her thoughts were spinning. The only photos of Lin Mo in the contest were all stolen from group chats. No way he'd win against Shen Leshen with those. If she wanted him to win, she needed real photos, high-quality ones, and she had the best photography team in town. She figured if it was just a photo shoot, Lin Mo wouldn't refuse, right? She caught up to him and made her offer, but he flat out rejected her. "Find something better to do. Why do you only bother me?" He looked tired and serious. "I've got more important things to focus on. I'm behind on my cultivation, and I just got kidnapped. Trusting people right now? Not happening." Wutang stood there, stunned. She quietly nodded and said she wouldn't bother him anymore. Later that day, she was in the gym, furiously punching a bag. Her mind kept replaying his words, "You don't trust me anymore, and it's my fault. I promised I'd protect you. I failed." Each punch was louder, harder. Meanwhile, Sister Hai walked into the gym. She was known for being tough and causing trouble. The receptionist told her the entire place had been reserved. "By who?" she asked. "Miss Xiao," he said. "She's been here since morning." Came in, took her shirt off, and started hitting the bag like crazy, non-stop. Sister Hai smirked. "A rich girl, huh? I've been waiting to fight someone interesting." The receptionist warned her. Wutang was clearly in a bad mood. Hai didn't care. "Tell her to leave, and give me my money back." She walked up to Wutang. "Not bad, but you're soft. No real resistance." Wutang glared at her. "Say one more word, and I'll kick you through the wall." Hai grinned. "You want to fight?" Before she finished that sentence, Wutang punched her, hard, and launched her right out the first-floor window. Without missing a beat, Wutang jumped out after her. The people outside were stunned. They'd never seen someone fight with such intensity. One recognized Sister Hai, the one who used to blackmail everyone at the gym. Wutang ripped off her mask and demanded, "Why do you always hide behind this?" The girl underneath had scars, but Wutang wasn't done. She beat her down again. Then, sirens. A cop arrived, yelling that Sister Hai had a bounty of 500,000 yuan. She had assaulted an 80-year-old man. Everyone started cheering. Wutang had taken down a wanted criminal. The city even awarded her for her courage. Reporters came in, asking if she had martial arts training. The next day in class, her classmates crowded around her. "So this is why you brought Song Yunu to talk about your feet," one joked. Wutang shrugged. "I don't know what's up with me. Lately, I walk outside, and either I meet hot guys or I get money. It's like good luck follows me." She explained how she often went out with her grandma, and strange things just kept happening. One of her friends asked, "So, can you use that luck to chase Lin Mo?" Another one chimed in, "Forget Lin Mo, pick Shen Leshen. Lin Mo's too cold." Wutang told them not to worry. All she wanted was information. Everything about Lin Mo, his schedule, what he liked, what he hated. Yunu crossed her arms. "You're asking me to rat out my best friend and brother, not for free." Everyone gasped. "You're charging her?" Wutang didn't back down. "Fine. If you give me good info, I'll pay you 500,000 yuan. Yunu didn't hesitate. She pulled a thick stack of notes from her shirt. She'd clearly been collecting data for a while. Wutang flipped through the pages. As she read, she realized just how messy Lin Mo's past really was. She thought back to Hui, the demon sword, and Song Yunu. All of it. But one thing stood out, something Yunu couldn't confirm. Every day at noon, she said, Lin Mo doesn't eat in the cafeteria. He picks up his food and runs off somewhere. Wutang raised an eyebrow. Her friend from the neighboring class told her something else. He plays Go on the Rooftop with a girl. At that moment, Wutang's heart dropped. "What girl?" she demanded. Yunshu pointed across the hallway. "Her, the one picking up 2 meals." Wutang turned and froze. It was Hansen, her old friend, the same girl who once said someone's death was just a stupid game. Wutang's fists clenched. Her friends tried to calm her down, reminding her that Hansen wasn't even good at Go. Wutang muttered, "We used to be friends." Meanwhile, on the rooftop, Hansen was already waiting. Lin Mo arrived, shaking off the cold. "The weather's terrible," he said. We could have played inside. She replied, this started on the rooftop. It should end on the rooftop. You scared? Number. Just don't want to catch a cold or get jumped by a girl using it as an excuse. She threw her coat at him. Wear it. Don't blame me later for getting sick. He hesitated, but finally put it on. Sleeves are short, but not bad. She smiled. It suits you. It's mine, after all. Yeah, let's play already. Looks like it's gonna rain. Right on cue, the rain started falling. She scolded him. Why would you jinx it? He stood up to leave, but she stopped him. Yesterday, you told me to wash my face and come back. I did. So let's finish the game. He sighed, then agreed to one match. As they played, Hansen had a moment of reflection. For tens of thousands of years, she lived only to fight. She'd never had friends, never shared joy with anyone. She was feared by subordinates and enemies alike. But now she was just a girl playing Go with someone who chose to spend time with her. For the first time in her life, she felt genuinely happy. That night, Lin Mo was back in his room, sniffling from the rain. The paper doll asked if he was okay. He ignored the question. What about the dark dupe? All 8 were sold, she said. The compasses will start picking up yin energy soon. The demon sword won't be able to go wild. Then someone knocked on the door. He panicked. Hide anything related to cultivation. It was his aunt. She barged in, frantic. What did you do? Xiao Wutang sent a whole truck of gifts. She said she wants to talk to you. Lin Mo denied everything. I didn't mess with her. And knock next time. Come downstairs, she told him. She's waiting. I'll shower first. His aunt smiled to herself. Cunning little brat. Even Wutang's after him. She thought to herself, if she could arrange their marriage now, the family would be set. Downstairs, Wutang waited awkwardly. His aunt told her, he's in the shower, but feel free to stay the night. We're going out anyway. Wutang panicked. No, I just need to say something and leave. But the aunt smiled and waved as she walked out. Stay as long as you want. Feeling nervous, Wutang wandered around, looking for the bathroom. Right then, Lin Mo walked out, shirtless and dripping wet. They locked eyes. He asked, what do you want? She apologized, flustered. I was just looking for the bathroom. I didn't see anything. I forgot everything. Her nose started bleeding again. He sighed, then casually jabbed her with a self-defense move. I've perfected this skill. Whatever you're planning, don't. Wutang stumbled back from the hit, still clutching her nose, but she wasn't done yet. After composing herself, she walked straight into Lin Mo's room. I didn't come to fight, she said. I came to apologize. She looked down. Last time, I promised I'd protect you, and I didn't. I failed. That's on me. He looked at her calmly. It wasn't your fault. It was Hian Hui's. She had brought gifts, piled them up beside his bed. I'm not trying to bribe you, she said, but I hope you'll accept these as a peace offering. He glanced at the boxes and shrugged. If you get someone to fix that wall you broke, we'll call it even. Then he yawned. If you're done, I need to rest. She nodded, stepped out, and sat down beside the broken wall. Everything was crashing through her head. Every promise she'd made, every moment she thought she could protect him, only to end up watching him get hurt again and again. Back in his room, Lin Mo was drying his hair when she suddenly popped back in through the wall. I'm gonna say this just once, she blurted. Be my boyfriend. He froze. I'm not taking advantage of you. I know you're still healing, but I like you. Not in a casual way. I like the way your helmet smells after you wear it. I like playing with you. I like how serious you are when you misunderstand everything. She looked down, her voice quiet. I may not be good at anything besides fighting. I don't know how to flirt. I'm not delicate, but I'll try to become your type. I'll do my best to be good enough for you. She was trembling. So, will you give me a chance? Lin Mo stared at her silently. She panicked. You don't have to answer now. I don't even know if I have a chance against her, but I couldn't keep it in anymore. I had to tell you. She turned to leave. He finally stood up, his expression unreadable. We've only known each other for 6 months, and you're already saying you love me? She froze. Do you think love is that simple? He asked. If you really want to chase me, go ahead. I won't stop you. She smiled, tears in her eyes, and left. Don't forget, she said, turning around before going. Tomorrow's the photo shoot. That night, Lin Mo sat in silence. The paper doll floated beside him. She tilted her head. So, why didn't you reject her? He replied softly, she's the daughter of heaven, the world's luckiest person. If she says she wants to chase me, heaven itself will help her. I couldn't stop her if I tried. The doll tilted her head. That's not an answer. He sighed. If someone truly manages to break through my heart, the one I've kept sealed for over 10,000 years, maybe she deserves a chance. He leaned back. Anyway, I need sleep. The next morning, the photo shoot began. Lin Mo tried on outfit after outfit, posing for the camera. He looked bored the entire time. Wutang kept rejecting the pictures. Nope, not good enough. Make them more natural. she told the photographer. Try shooting him in his school uniform, she said next. Lin Mo sighed. How many more? Keep going, she said. You're doing great. Days later, the votes were in. Lin Mo ranked first, over 3.9 million votes. But now the elders wanted something more. They didn't know much about his background, and that made them nervous. One of them suggested, if Utang's really that obsessed with him, then bring him over. Let's test him. Without any warning, the location and time were announced. A dinner at the Gen Hotel, 6:30 p.m. on Sunday. Some protested. We never agreed to that, but it didn't matter. This wasn't just a date, it was an evaluation. That evening, someone commented, there are way more people here than last time. Utang's grandma, Xiao Hongling, was absent, but she left instructions to proceed without her. She said she was busy, but another woman whispered, she's not busy. She just didn't want to hear that blonde girl's whining voice all night. They all laughed. Utang and Lin Mo arrived right on time. One woman stared at him in disbelief. So that's the boy? I feel like I can see straight through him. Lin Mo didn't seem impressed. He was only here because Utang asked him to. To him, it was just another opportunity to observe the Immortal World players and see if they knew anything about the venerable demon. Utang had promised it'd just be a quick meeting. As soon as they entered, the grandma's voice rang out from the other side of the room. Don't just stare at the boy's face like that. Introduce him properly. Utang pulled him closer. This is my boyfriend. Lin Mo interrupted. You don't need to introduce me. I'm just here to eat. Then I'll leave. A girl stepped forward. Don't be so cold. I made you some special tea. She handed it to him with a smile. This is Bayun golden silk tea. Very rare. As she poured it, Utang's eyes narrowed. She saw something drop into the cup. Something slipped in through the girl's nails. Don't drink it, Utang snapped. What did you just put in there? The girl looked fake shocked. Are you accusing me of poisoning your man? If you don't find anything, she said smugly, you'll have to lend him to me for a few days. Utang flared up. Say that again if you dare. She was sure something had been added, but it didn't make sense. Why poison him in front of everyone? Unless it wasn't meant to kill him, just to expose him. They were testing him. If he drank it, the poison would have no effect. Proof that he had power. If he didn't drink it, it would mean he saw through it, which also proved he wasn't normal. It was a trap either way. He realized that too. The tea had a colorless, tasteless energy. It was one of the 108 types of hidden poisons. Hard to detect, impossible to fully counter without extreme training. He was caught. But then, Utang did the unexpected. She grabbed the cup and drank it herself. Everyone gasped. I drank it for him, she said flatly. If anything happens, remember, your clan will deal with the consequences. Just as tension peaked, the grandma stood up. I have something better, she said. A treasure. She pulled out a cage, and inside was a small rat. Not just any rat. A yang energy-seeking rat. A creature that could sniff out people with special bodies. Utang rolled her eyes. Seriously? But she knew what was happening. This was their test, to see if Lin Mo had the kind of body required for dual cultivation, the kind that could match the daughter of heaven. They released the rat, and it sprinted, straight toward Lin Mo. The rat darted from plate to plate, weaving through the dishes as it rushed straight toward Lin Mo. It jumped, aiming to land on him. Lin Mo flicked it away with one finger. Control your pet. I'm still eating. Everyone froze. The reaction was clear. Utang's eyes widened. Even she hadn't expected such a strong response from the rat. Tianu, stunned, tried to play it off. It's just a coincidence. The rat probably got confused, but the grandma was already tearing up. He's not just a pure young body, she whispered. He's the supreme body of pure yang. Gasps spread around the room. She added, I've only ever read about it in legends. Our Yachi clan has searched for generations, and now our granddaughter just casually brings him home. She turned to the others. What happened tonight must remain a secret. If word gets out, anyone leaking this will be punished severely. Tianu sat back in disbelief. Lin Mo wasn't just a potential partner, he was a mythical-level cultivator in the making. Outside the hotel, Utang was riding her bike with Lin Mo sitting behind her. He asked her directly, why did you say that girl put something in the tea? Utang shrugged. She wouldn't have tried anything in front of me unless she had a plan. Since she didn't react, I knew it wasn't serious. Suddenly, a dog darted onto the road. Utang swerved sharply to avoid it. Lin Mo lost balance. He nearly fell, but Utang caught his hand just in time. They both crashed into the snow. He grunted. You okay? Fine, she said, brushing off snow. Then suddenly, she hurled a snowball at him. Snowball fight. He froze in place, confused. But he wasn't imagining things. Her face was flushed red, not just from embarrassment, but from something else. He recognized the signs. That poison, one of the 108 hidden ones, had taken effect. It didn't kill, it induced emotional instability, lowered shame, and triggered temporary childlike behavior. People affected by it became giddy, aggressive, and bold. She had been poisoned. Still, he smiled faintly and agreed to play along, just for a while. As snowflakes fell around them, he remembered something from long ago, another snowy day. In his past life, Ying had begged him to stay with her for just one day. He had refused. Ordinary people can rest. I can't. I'm a cultivator. I can't waste time. Ying had looked at him sadly. The demons are still out there, but I've waited and waited. You're still not an immortal emperor. He told her he would be, one day. The elders believed in him. She asked, how long will that take? 1,000 years? 10,000? And then, will the world even survive that long? Will we? If the end comes before then, will you ever get the chance to be with someone like me? He didn't answer, so she just smiled and said, then give me half an hour. That's all I'm asking. Half an hour in the snow. She apologized for making him feel guilty, then told him to go. Go be the hero, save the world, and if they met again in another life, she'd pester him to play in the snow all over again. Back then, demons had appeared near the bamboo forest. The demon sword claimed the land's aura for himself, ready to absorb it. He attacked Ying without mercy. The emperor arrived just in time to stop him. But then came the demon lord himself. The emperor tried to fight back, but he was too late. Ying collapsed, bleeding from the demon lord's strike. The demon sword had faked an opening, just to set him up. He grabbed the emperor by the leg and paralyzed him. The demon lord rushed in for the kill. Ying, barely breathing, threw herself in the way. The sword meant for him stabbed into her. The demon lord was furious. You're wasting your life for this? But she smiled, happy just to see the emperor again. She was fading fast. He tried to heal her, to keep her awake. She whispered something about a bamboo grove on a cliff, and said she'd wait for him there, in the next life. The emperor couldn't save her. Not then. Meanwhile, in another part of the world, the venerable demon stood before her father. She told him the demon sword had gone rogue again, that it was killing people freely, and he kept covering for it. Her father slapped her across the face. What do you want to learn from a murderer? He shouted. Slaughtering the weak, hurting the helpless, that makes you no different than a bandit. Back in the present, the emperor made his way to that very bamboo forest Ying had once mentioned. He stood beneath the trees, snow falling around him, and remembered everything she had said, how she told him to stop practicing all the time, how she said he'd go gray early at this rate. He stood there quietly. In this life, he thought, maybe Ying had come back as Wutang. He didn't care if it wasn't reincarnation or fate. Maybe he was just tired of regret, tired of making the same mistakes. He promised himself he wouldn't ignore her this time. The next morning, Wutang woke up in her dorm after a terrible dream. In it, she had seen a news article, Why Qin Dies by Suicide. Then, she got a message from Hansen. I'm not feeling well either. I'm dissolving the team. Suddenly, in the dream, Wuyan grabbed her by the neck. This is your fault, she screamed. If you hadn't forced us into that game team, if you hadn't dragged us into that tournament, none of this would have happened. Wutang tried to escape, apologizing. I didn't know her family would pressure her like that. Then Hansen appeared with a knife, placing it over her chest. Figure it out yourself. You'll find the truth. She woke up gasping, alone in a dark classroom. Her phone buzzed. It was her friend. Have you eaten? Also, Lin Mo's on the rooftop again, but he's not alone. She raced out, fury building. No way Hansen is seriously interested in a guy, especially not Lin Mo, and since when does she even know how to play Go? But when she got there, she froze. They really were playing. She stared at them and said, You know I like him. The whole school knows it. Hansen didn't even flinch. We've played Go together on the rooftop every day. Everyone knows that too. Seems like you're the only one who didn't. Wutang took a deep breath. Fine. I didn't come to fight. I came to ask something. About your sister. Hansen's expression changed. What's the point of bringing that up now? I know I wasn't blameless, but was it really all my fault? Wutang asked. She got sick. She gave up. But why do you hate me so much? You really don't get it? Hansen said quietly. Then go investigate it yourself. If you really care about Wuyan, dig into it. The truth's there. If you're just messing with me, you'll find out. Wutang turned to leave and asked Lin Mo to come with her. But Hansen grabbed her arm. Who do you think you are to him? Wutang pulled back, shouting, I'm his girlfriend. Who are you? Hansen said flatly, I'm his Go partner, the only one at his level. Lin Mo stood up. He said he doesn't belong to anyone, and if they want to talk, then fine. He'll just leave. But right as he turns, Wutang grabs his hand and says she'll go with him. Lin Mo calls her childish, and she can't even explain what's going on with her. She's confused by how excited she got just from seeing Hanini. She doesn't even want Lin Mo near her. Suddenly, Hanzini grabs Wutang's hand, making her furious. Wutang snaps that this is the second time now. but instead of fighting, she holds it in and asks what Hanini even wants from her. Then, she glares at her and accuses her of trying to steal him. Hanini claps back, saying she's tired of Wutong harassing a good guy like Lin Mo. Wutong yells at her to back off and not test her again. Hanini stares at her coldly, wondering how some random ordinary girl dares to threaten her. She thinks Wutong's just a normal girl, whether she's destiny or whatever, and suddenly lets out some of her spiritual energy. Wutong's aura flares up like a mountain, locking Hanini's body in place. Her muscles won't even move. Kayan grabs her hand while she panics internally, trying to figure out how Hanini could be this powerful. She's known her for years, so this shouldn't be possible. But now, with Hanini's demonic energy radiating out, even Lin Mo is stunned. He wonders, could she be the venerable demon? Later, Wutong rides her bike home, mind-spinning. She can't wrap her head around Hanini being a cultivator, but the priority now is figuring out the truth. Just then, she gets a call. Someone says they found what she asked for, a video from a private surveillance camera near the scene. She immediately demands the video. The caller tries to say more, but Wutong just cuts her off, telling her to send it right now. Wutong pulls over, watching the footage on her phone. She remembers thinking there was nothing odd in the original video, but now that she's the daughter of the heavens, her fortune's up. Her dreams were definitely trying to tell her something. She watches the footage and freezes. Hanini and young Tanu are together on the screen. Her memory flashes back. Hanini once told her she survived so long only because of her mercy, and now here she is, helping young Tanu, who's out here attacking mortals again. Wutong clenches her teeth. This time, she's not letting her get away with it. That night, all the immortals gather at a hotel. One of them announces that the legendary immortal of the Yang family has come to the mortal world. Everyone's thrilled to meet her. Chu tells the others to go play and not bother her. One of them whispers that Chu seems distracted lately, probably because she's investigating Lin Mo. According to reports, Lin Mo's just a normal guy, but she wonders, maybe Xiao Wutang hid his identity, or was it all part of a setup? She's jealous. How did someone like Xiao Wutang get a guy like that? Just then, an explosion rocks the place. Wutang barges in. A boy asks what she's doing there, but she walks straight to young Tanu. "I've got a question," she says. Tanu smirks, saying Wutang's family still hasn't learned any manners. The boy quickly asks everyone to leave. Now, it's just the three of them. Wutang presses her. Why was she with Hanzini that day? Tanu shrugs like she has no idea what Wutang's talking about. Wutang narrows her eyes and says if she won't confess, she'll help jog her memory. Back in the day, she, Hanini, and Tanu were part of Dong Zion's game team. They made it to the spring auditions finals. The team they beat, Heaven's Door. Wutang says Tanu couldn't handle losing, so out of envy, she ruined Hanini and even killed Wyan, all to satisfy her ego. But Tanu just laughs, like, loud. She mocks Wutang, saying she's adorable. She explains that back then, she was just bored, threw together a gaming team. Didn't even know the winners were Wutang's squad. If I had known, she smirks, I wouldn't have lost again. The boy interrupts. He doubts Tanu would go that far just over a game. Tanu, famous in the immortal realm, turns to Wutang and scoffs. Why would I get my hands dirty over a stupid victory? As for Hanini, she says she doesn't even know her. She just happened to be passing by that day. Wutang pulls out her phone and growls. You both went into that building together, and only you came out right after Wyan jumped. Tanu's smile fades. She steps forward, eyes sharp. You really think you've got it all figured out? She tells Wutang she's welcome to fight her if she wants, but she won't hold back. Get out before I get mad, she snaps. Wutang raises her hand, about to strike, but the boy stops her, telling her to chill. Wutang grits her teeth. Fine, I'll spare you, out of respect for Heavenly Master Yang, but when I get proof, your whole family's finished. She storms out. The boy watches her go. She's still so hot-headed, he mutters, then turns to Tanu. Was that true? She shrugs. Don't believe me? He clarifies. He didn't mean it like that, but with so much going on this year, it's not smart to make enemies of Wutang's clan. She tells him to leave. She doesn't need him here. After he's gone, Tanu dials someone. She wants to know who leaked Xiao Wutang's surveillance footage. Then kill them, she orders. She stares ahead, talking to herself. Wutang was right. She is jealous. She's just never dared to act on it before because of Wutang's grandmother. But this time, she's going to make sure Wutang disappears. The next day, Lin Mo goes to the cafeteria for lunch, but something's off. The chef hands him a crab dish he didn't order. He asks what's going on, and she explains it's part of a special menu prepared just for him by none other than Lady Xiao Wutang. She says she's been cooking her whole life, but she's never seen ingredients this high quality. Lin Mo insists it's unnecessary, but Wutang appears right on cue, saying she heard everything. She tells him the dish was made with ingredients flown in from Antarctica, and she guarantees it tastes like nothing else in the world. Then she asks him to try and identify the ingredients himself. Before he can argue, she hands him more dishes and says they shouldn't eat here. She has a better place. She tells him she's arranged a quiet room just for him. She knows he likes peace, so he can eat and rest there during lunch. Lin Mo turns her down, saying she's being ridiculous. But Utang grabs his hand gently, saying this isn't nonsense. It really matters to her. This means something. He smiles faintly and agrees to go. But Han Zini blocks their path. She tells Lin Mo to come play with her. Utang quickly steps in between them and tells Lin Mo to go ahead to the private room. She says she'll handle this. Hanini scoffs. You're still the same, always barging in, acting all high and mighty, messing with everyone's peace. She gestures at the crowd forming around them and tells Utang to open her eyes. You say you're protecting Lin Mo's peace, but look around. Thanks to you, he's now the center of attention. She also brings up how Utang caused her injury, but Utang cuts her off, yelling at her to keep quiet. Then she turns to the students nearby and tells them to scram. Once they're alone, Utang tells her she knows what happened between her and her sister. She admits she's the reason they suffered, and she understands if Hanini hates her. You can settle the score with me, she says, but you're not getting Lin Mo. Hanini fires back. She's not giving up her Go game partner either. They glare at each other, both refusing to back down, until Lin Mo breaks the tension by saying he's leaving. Utang calls after him, but Hanini steps in the way again, telling her not to cause more drama for him. Utang turns serious and warns her not to use the Go game as an excuse. Just because you're a cultivator doesn't mean you can do whatever you want, she says. If you're using him to get revenge or mess with his feelings, I'll stop you myself. Hanini replies calmly. She doesn't like him like that. They're just Go partners. Utang softens slightly and says, as long as you're being honest and don't have bad intentions, I'll play fair. But let's be real. There's nothing you can give him that I can't. Hanini simply says, I can play Go with him. Utang's patience is running thin. Later, Hanini is on the rooftop, playing Go by herself. She's done this alone for years, but today feels empty, boring. She realizes she's been waiting for him, even though she keeps telling herself it's just a game. She remembers Utang's words. What can she even offer him? She thinks Utang was right. She has nothing. All she can give him is this cold rooftop and a board game. But then she remembers something. She hasn't felt hot or cold in ages since she regained her strength. She didn't even notice it was already winter. Lin Mo's just a regular guy. He's been sitting with her through all this cold. She starts to question everything. Why does she care so much about a mortal? She reminds herself. She's the venerable demon. If she becomes queen of the world, she could hand it all over to Lin Mo. She runs for the school gate, but stops in her tracks. Even if she dominates this world, the immortal emperor and demonic sword still exist. They're real threats. For thousands of years, she's never felt so distracted. She wonders if Lin Mo went to that private room Utang arranged for him. Maybe he avoided her because he didn't want others talking. Maybe he's just shy. Why is she even thinking about this? Hanini decides she has to talk to him. She doesn't want any misunderstandings messing up their next Go game. She calls him, ready to explain. He answers, but before she can say anything, Lin Mo cuts her off. He tells her she's a good person, and she'll definitely find someone better. Then he ends the call. Hanini is stunned, then furious. She hurls her phone across the rooftop. Can't you let people finish their sentence before hanging up? She refuses to let it end like this. She's going to find him and clear this up. Utang may have dragged her into this mess, but she's not even into Lin Mo. He's just her Go buddy. She heads down the stairs and bumps into Utang's friend. She quickly asks if she's seen Lin Mo. The girl shakes her head at first, then lights up. Wait, I just saw him playing basketball in the schoolyard. You better hurry if you want to catch him. Hanini is confused. Basketball? The girl insists. Go check for yourself. So Hanini goes. When she gets to the court, she starts looking around. She sees a crowd gathered around, cheering, and in the middle of it all is Utang playing basketball. Her expression drops. She was lied to. She walks over, ready to ask Utang about Lin Mo, but two students step in her way, saying they're moving sports equipment. Utang spots Hanini and waves. Looking for Lin Mo? I thought he was with you. Hanini doesn't answer. She turns to walk away. Utang calls out to her and throws a basketball at her. Hanini catches it easily. You got something to say? She asks. Utang smirks. Since you're here, play with me. Hanini tosses the ball aside. This is a kid's game, just tossing a ball into a basket. But then she throws it backward, and it lands perfectly in the hoop. Utang is stunned. Hanini shrugs. Why are you making that face? Just because I made one shot doesn't mean I'm good at it. Utang laughs, saying someone as elegant and polished as Hanini should stick to playing Go. She teases her, telling her to go do whatever she wants. Hanini turns to leave, but in her mind, she's fuming. She's the daughter of the heavens. How dare this girl provoke her so many times? Utang grins. Didn't like what I said? Hanini walks up to her. Let's make a deal. Whoever scores first wins. If I score, you never play Go with Lin Mo again. If you score, I'll stay out of it. Now, the crowd is fired up. Students start recording. Whispers fly. Are these two girls fighting over a guy? Even random classmates who were just scrolling their phones hear the commotion and rush over. The game's on. Utang tells Hanini, "You're really gonna play in that outfit? Taking this lightly, huh?" Hanini replies coldly, "Only worthy opponents deserve a wardrobe change." She grabs the ball, ready. But before they start, Utang raises a finger. One condition, no immortal powers. Too many people here, we'll get in trouble. Hanini rolls her eyes. Relax, I don't need powers to beat someone like you. Utang backs off a few steps and says, "Whoever uses power loses by default." Hanini just glares, and someone on the sidelines jokes that she should leave if she's scared. Hanini throws the ball straight at her. "You go first." Utang smirks, confident. She notices Hanini hasn't even moved into a defensive stance. This'll be easy. She dashes forward with her lightning-fast zigzag move, and the crowd goes wild. She's fast, graceful, almost glowing with confidence. She leaps toward the basket, totally sure she's got it. But the ball's no longer in her hands. It's in Hanini's. Utang freezes. When did she? Hanini smiles. "I don't need to switch to defense. Keep coming." The crowd cheers louder. One side's already rooting for Utang. But now, Hanini's winning them over too. Utang grits her teeth. She underestimated her. Time to get serious. Utang focuses up and activates her lightning zigzag move again, this time even faster. The crowd gasps as she becomes a blur, charging toward Hanini. She leaps again, ball in hand, sure that this time the shot will land. But right as the ball is about to go in, Hanini jumps up and swats it away with ease. Everyone is stunned. Utang is speechless. She thought she had it. How is Hanini keeping up with her? Hanini lands softly and looks right at her. "Want to try again?" Utang glares, pissed now. "Get ready," she growls, gripping the ball tightly. She throws it hard at Hanini, who catches it effortlessly again. But Utang isn't giving up. She thinks to herself, Hanini didn't used to be this strong. Even if she's immortal, this kind of improvement in such a short time is insane. Is she really who she claims to be? Whatever. Right now, the goal is to win. If brute force won't work, then it's time for strategy. She changes up her move and goes for a straight toss. Hanini follows her carefully, watching every step. But this time, Utang dodges just in time, fakes her out, and sprints around her toward the basket. "Naive," she mutters under her breath. She leaps up again, aiming to slam the ball in. But Hanini's right behind her. As Utang's about to score, Hanini blocks her again, deflecting the ball. It hits Utang midair, knocking her to the ground. Gasps fill the court. That one looked painful. Hanini stands tall. "Face it, you're nowhere close." Utang struggles to her feet, brushing herself off. "Know your place," she snaps. Hanini shakes her head. "No matter how many times we do this, the result will be the same. The gap between us is huge. Just give up." But Utang's not quitting. She grabs the ball again, breathing heavily, and launches it toward the hoop. This time, it's about to go in, and Hanini is already racing after her. Hanini gets close, but Utang blocks her path with her body and jumps. At that exact moment, Hanini steps on something. A nail. It pierces through her shoe, digging into her foot. She flinches. That split-second delay is all Utang needs. She slams the ball through the basket. The crowd erupts. Hanini falls to the ground, holding her foot. Utang stands over her, panting, gripping the rim. "I won." Hanini grits her teeth but admits defeat. "Yeah, I lost." A few students rush over to help her up. They tell her she needs to go to the infirmary. She's bleeding. She tries to wave them off, saying it's just a scratch. But they're insistent. "That nail's rusty. You could get an infection," one says. "We should call 120. She groans, remembering her embarrassing past and how weak she must look now, and reluctantly agrees to go. Off to the side, some students talk about how the basketball hoop is supposed to be super sturdy. One of them even jokes that he once claimed he could hang Lin Mo from it and it'd still hold. But the real surprise? Hanini is still walking. Barely, but still walking. Elsewhere, Lin Mo is chilling in a prep room when a boy runs in. "Yo, did you hear?" The guy pants. Xiao Utang and Hanzini just fought each other in the schoolyard. Like, actual fight. Hanini ended up getting hurt bad. The boy looks at him dead serious. "They were fighting over you." He tells Lin Mo that Hanini is now in the infirmary and that he should go check on her. But Lin Mo just says, "I'm not going." The boy looks pissed. "What do you mean you're not going? This is all because of you. What do you want us to tell her family if she gets worse? Lin Mo glares at him. The guy shuts up, backs off, and tells the others they should leave. Now alone, Lin Mo sits quietly, wondering what he should do. After a while, he finds himself outside the infirmary. He hesitates, but the door opens and the doctor steps out. You here for Hanzini? He asks. She's inside. Lin Mo nods and walks in. He sees her lying there and quietly approaches. I heard you got hurt. He notices she's not wearing her school uniform and turns away, closing his eyes out of respect. She opens her eyes and immediately apologizes. I misunderstood what Utang said. I just don't like how she makes you look like some weak little guy. Lin Mo chuckles. Weak guy, huh? Well, glad it was just a misunderstanding. You're one of the few people I actually respect. She raises an eyebrow. Respect me? Like you don't respect the girls who drool over your body. She laughs at the look on his face. Man, I should have taken a photo of that expression. Relax, I'm not like them. Lin Mo tries to play it cool, but internally he's screaming. She's sitting there, not fully dressed, and he can't stop himself from reacting. He takes a deep breath. You sure you're okay? You're bleeding a lot. Hanini tries to pull the glass shard from her leg but flinches. You're not good at treating wounds, are you? He says, kneeling next to her. I know a bit about medicine. She tells him it's fine, but he insists. Don't move. He gently removes a sharp shard and places it in a tray. There's more, he says. I'll clean the wound, disinfect it, and bandage it up. You don't want scars. She doesn't fight him this time. He continues, carefully pulling out every bit of glass and patching her up. That should take care of your leg. Now I just need to fix your back. Hanini freezes. My back? He nods. You've got injuries there too. She panics. No, I'll take care of that myself. You won't reach it, he replies calmly. Don't worry, I'll handle it. Absolutely not, she thinks. There's no way I'm showing my butt to this guy, even in this world. Lin Mo looks annoyed. I'm just helping. It's not like I want your body or something. She tries to laugh it off. It's just a little cut. No need to make a big deal. He frowns. Don't waste my time. Turn around. She pouts. You sound like one of those emperors forcing a kid to take medicine. Exactly, he says. You're acting like a baby. Weren't you supposed to be a mature, badass woman? That gets her. She groans in defeat and finally turns. Fine, but no funny business, got it? I'm not into you like that, he says flatly. He finishes patching her up, and when he looks up, she's already asleep. He sighs, takes off his coat, and drapes it over her. Then, he quietly leaves the infirmary. Outside, Tanu is waiting. She greets him with a mocking smile. Utang's little toy, right? Let me walk you home. It's late. Before he can say anything, she smirks and says, Let's play a game. Cat and mouse. You're the mouse. Run as far as you can, and I'll chase you down. She leans in close. When I catch you, I'll cut you into 8 pieces and mail one to Utang every day. Let's see how long it takes me to catch you. She watches him walk away, then shouts after him, Don't stress too much. In her mind, she swears Utang will pay for humiliating her. Meanwhile, Lin Mo walks the dark street, deep in thought. The immortal world is a mess, he thinks. Tanu might be a joke to most, but when she gets pissed, she's dangerous. And if things keep spiraling, the whole immortal realm will be in chaos. If that happens, keeping his identity hidden will be impossible. He stops and realizes Tanu left a trace on him when she grabbed his shirt. If anyone investigates, his secret could be exposed. He calls Ziru. She appears silently beside him. Take this shirt, he says. Throw it far away, somewhere away from our house. I hope this was just a scare, but if she tries anything again, I'll destroy her. Meanwhile, back at the infirmary, Hanzini slowly wakes up. She sees Lin Mo's coat draped over her. For a moment, she just stares at it. Seriously? She thinks. I've survived countless bloody battles, and I let my guard down around a high school boy. She can't believe she fell asleep in front of him like that. I owe him again, she thinks bitterly. Then she remembers what Utang said to her. What have you even done for Lin Mo? That question stings. She decides she'll invite him to dinner. After all, she remembers him saying he loves good food. That should be enough to balance the favor. But as she starts researching how to ask a guy out in this world, she quickly realizes it's a nightmare. Too many rules. Even the demon world wasn't this complicated. Still, she doesn't have time to stress about it. She pulls out her communicator. The other version of her, the venerable demon, answers. Hanzini tells her it's time to practice. We're going to rehearse asking him out, step by step. The venerable demon nods, understanding. But I haven't booked the restaurant yet, and we haven't decided on the time or place. Hanzini snaps. He literally saw you naked and even treated your wounds. The least you can do is call him. Venerable demon sighs and agrees to do it. She calls Lin Mo. He answers right away. She says she wants to treat him to dinner to repay the favor. I don't like owing people, she adds plainly. Lin Mo agrees. They decide to meet tomorrow night, after class. Hanzini hangs up with a slight smile on her face. Hearing him say yes made her happier than she expected. Just then, her mom calls from outside her room, asking if she's still awake. Hanzini quickly grabs the communicator and tells the venerable demon to pass her the phone. I'll handle the reservation, she says. She calls Shen Lin and tells him to make a dinner reservation for tomorrow. I'm inviting someone important, she says. Pick the best chef, the finest ingredients, and make sure everything is top tier. He asks what level of food she wants. The best, she replies. I want every ingredient visible. The chef must cook it live and serve it personally. Show me what your heavenly demon clan can really do. Shenlin agrees and promises not to let her down. She hangs up. Then she turns back to the venerable demon and says, okay, let's rehearse this again. On the other side, Shenlin gets to work. He calls the top cook from the clan and explains, this is for the queen of demons herself. The cook is taken aback. Wait, she's inviting someone to dinner? Yeah, and she personally requested it. You better not screw this up. The chef warns him. Every elite cook in their clan is high profile. This request isn't a joke. Shenlin presses. Doesn't matter. You heard who it's for. Make it happen. The restaurant will be taken over tomorrow. He clenches his jaw. I already messed up once at the beauty contest. I can't afford another screw-up. Not this time. He wonders why the Queen of Demons is going so over the top just to invite someone to dinner. Hanzini collapsed into her chair, totally drained. I can't believe I spent the whole night practicing lines for one dinner invite. Her clone nodded proudly. No flaws left. You're good to go. Attack with confidence. Hanzini flushed. Attack? It's just dinner. Time passed. By lunch break, Utang was in the schoolyard unwrapping a sandwich. She took a bite and sighed. So boring. I could have won that match without even using spiritual power, but thanks to my stupid temper, I lost the bet. Now my entire lunch break belongs to Hanzini. She kept mumbling. If we'd played Gamoku instead, I could have crushed her. Her phone rang. She glanced at the screen and muttered, of course, perfect timing. She answered, if you've got something to say, wait until I'm dead, and burn me paper money. The voice on the other end spoke quickly. Miss Utang, it's serious. All the top brass of the Heavenly Demon sect just arrived in the city. What? She snapped. Does Grandma know? We're not sure yet, the caller replied, but it's something major. Senior Hongling is already on her way. Got it, Utang said, hanging up. First the Heavenly Emperor, now the Demon Lord, and now this? When am I ever going to get a break to chase Lin Mo? Just then, she saw Hanzini walking toward her. Why isn't she up on the rooftop playing Go? Utang wondered. She walked over. Hey, where's Lin Mo? Hanzini walked past her, saying coldly, he's avoiding me. Utang shouted, I gave you the entire lunch break. At least have some self-respect. Hanzini glanced down at her with a smirk. You're just dealing with the consequences of your own actions. Boys get sensitive sometimes. Totally normal. Utang wasn't about to let that slide. Well, Lin Mo agreed to have dinner with me. So yeah, maybe I did screw myself over, but it worked. Hearing that, Utang's jaw dropped. Hanzini had officially won this round. She walked away, smiling as Utang stood there fuming, smashing her phone to the ground. After school, Utang stood at the school gate and made a call. Tell me where and when. I'll go check out what the Heavenly Demon sect is doing. The reply came fast. Bad news. They've taken over the entire Drunken Immortal Pavilion. Hanzini, Lin Mo, and your classmate all just went inside. Utang froze. What? She jumped in her car. Drive, follow them. At the pavilion, Lin Mo and Hanzini were already seated at a private dining table. Lin Mo was eating like it was his last meal. Hanzini watched, absolutely glowing. She cut a piece of meat, set the plate in front of him, and said sweetly, eat slowly, I cut it for you. Then she returned to her seat, humming happily. Lin Mo couldn't believe it. She's so well-mannered. If I didn't need to hide my identity, I'd honestly consider taking her as a concubine. Hanzini was feeling smug. I practiced dinner etiquette all night, and now look, he's totally falling for me. Meanwhile, the chefs in the kitchen were in full panic mode. The Demon Lord's here, and the guy with her, that's Lin Mo, right? They whispered, scared, stiff. Do not look at her, just cook. Old Ghost C stepped in. If the meal's messed up, we're all dead. One chef muttered, so that's Lin Mo. If he's really with the Demon Lord, then the Daughter of Destiny has no more plays left. Suddenly, bam! Yong Tanu kicked the door open and strutted in. Lin Mo's smile dropped instantly. You again? She pointed at him. Little cutie. Hanzini's mood snapped. She glared daggers. Just then, someone tapped Yong Tanu on the shoulder. Hey, brat. She turned and paled. Old Ghost C was standing right there, glaring. What are you doing here? Seeing him, her heart dropped. Oh no, it's Old Ghost C. Behind him, the sect master of the Heavenly Demon sect stepped forward with a knife in hand. This place is booked. Leave. Yongtanu backed up. Sorry. Wrong room. I'll leave. Get out, he yelled, kicking her out the door. Tears welled up in her eyes. But before she could flee, the sect master sent her a message. Don't even think of running. Wait until our guests are done eating. Then we'll deal with you. Outside, Utang finally arrived. She saw Yongtanu sitting quietly for the first time in her life. You? Why are you just sitting there? Yongtanu gulped. They're all inside, Lin Mo too. Inside, the sect master bowed to Han Zini. Apologies. No one will disturb you again. Then Utang burst through the door. Is Lin Mo? She froze. The sect master turned to her. Did you also walk into the wrong room? Her face paled. Elsewhere, Xiao Hongling was racing to the pavilion in a taxi. If the top people from the Heavenly Demon sect are involved, I might not be able to fight my way through, but I have no choice. I have to negotiate. When she arrived, the place looked like a normal restaurant. No guards, nothing strange. Then she spotted Yongtanu and Wutang sitting quietly like scolded kids. Are you seriously being held hostage like this? You've embarrassed all cultivators. She walked into the building and cast a spell to appear taller, looking like a proper adult. Inside, the sect master once again bowed. I deeply apologize. But before he could finish, Hongling walked in. Han Zini glared at her instantly. The sect master gulped. Oh no, even she's here. Please, please don't make a scene. He tried to hint with a twitching expression. Ahem, maybe you also went to the wrong room. But Hongling didn't catch on. Why is your face twitching like that? Got a stroke? The sect master panicked. She didn't get it. I'm so dead. Hongling sighed. Yeah, I get it. You're trying to keep things secret. She turned her gaze to Lin Mo. Her thoughts raced. He's been there for every major incident, every disaster, always walks away without a scratch. Even at the banquet, nothing fazed him. Unless he's the Heavenly Emperor. She took out a fragment of her sword. It suddenly floated, then vanished. Her eyes shot to Lin Mo. It flew toward him. It's him. Lin Mo noticed her staring and motioned for silence. With just a tiny wave of his hand, a murderous aura surged. Hongling felt it instantly. It really is him. Later, at the Phoenix Pavilion, Hongling locked Utang in her room. You've caused enough chaos. You're grounded. Grandma, you can't leave Lin Mo alone. It's dangerous. Silence. From now on, you're not allowed to mention Lin Mo. You're not allowed near him. Utang was stunned. What? Before she could protest more, Hongling turned to Yongtanu. I'm not grounding you, but you need to stop slacking and focus. You're embarrassing yourself. She walked away, leaving the two of them alone. Yongtanu shrugged. Looks like Lin Mo and I aren't meant to be. Utang growled, as if you're even worthy of him. Yongtanu giggled darkly. Exactly. I can't have him, so I'll destroy him. She grinned wickedly. Tonight, I'll kill him while he's still warm. Hehehe. By the time you escape, it'll be too late. See ya, daughter of destiny. Utang screamed after her. Hey, just you wait. She grabbed her phone and frantically searched her contacts. Damn it, come on. But the signal was trash. Ugh, of course. Freaking solitary confinement. Meanwhile, Han Zini picked up her phone. Beep, beep, beep. Lin Mo is in danger. Save him. Beep. Yongtanu wants to kill him. Beep. Go now. Han Zini's expression darkened. She crushed her phone with her bare hand. At Lin Mo's house, Yongtanu arrived calmly, smiling. Finally, time to die, Lin Mo. She stepped forward, imagining him clean and waiting inside. But then, an overwhelming pressure hit her from behind. She froze. Panic gripped her. If I was 1 second slower, I'd be dead. Whose aura is this? Even the Heavenly Demon Sect Master didn't feel this terrifying. She bolted. Why can't I shake this feeling? She cried internally, tears blurring her vision as she ran. Finally, it eased. She stopped in a forest, gasping for air. Someone handed her a bottle of water. Thirsty? Yeah, I'm dying of. She looked up. Han Zini stood before her, aura flaring, eyes cold. Yongtanu's legs gave out. She fell. She'd peed herself. Han Zini sneered. Looks like you don't need the water anymore. She grabbed Yongtanu by the throat. Time to die. Han Zini's grip didn't loosen. Oh really? Then it looks like Wai Tianyi better start planning for a second kid. Yongtanu whimpered. If you enjoyed the story so far, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to Yume Recap, and stay tuned for the next video.